Hi, friends.
Ah.
Welcome into the firm of Harrison Meringue here on a Wednesday, the 28th of January. Man, I can't believe it's almost February.
You beat me to it. Damn you, Patrick.
Yeah, you can't S&S her, my friend.
No, I'm not mad at you. My headphones just keep falling apart.
Oh, you're just now putting your headphones
Well,
on.
no, they were tangled up, and I tried to just
It
pull them
might help if
apart,
you sat
and
down
because they were
before the
so
start
knotted
of
up.
the
I don't know how
open
they
of
got
the
so
show.
knotted up, Because
Patrick Harris with
Whatever.
you. That's Danny Meringue over there. He could not hear you say that, Russ, because
No.
he doesn't have his
Because he
headphones.
does not have
because
his
they were
headphones
so.
in. Yes, exactly.
I wind up my headphones the same way every time, and yet for like the last 3 shows, every time I pull them out of there, they are just in a rat's nest, and I don't understand why.
I don't want to hear anything about you pulling anything out of anywhere.
Whoa. I had my headphones ready like 4
And he
minutes
still don't think heard that.
No, I didn't because they were not connected. God, just why? Why are these things? I blame Sprague
Why?
because we were talking about numbing tattoos.
Just like, he doesn't even sit in that chair.
No.
I have his water bottle right now. Ooh,
Oh.
it is icy cold.
Really, I would have bet money he had a drink in there that was 1,000,000 degrees.
Did he go with like the Cliff Clavin? This is a titanium steel alloy made by NASA for the space program.
That's what it looks like, dude. That's what it looks like. 88.7 KPV something FM. This thing's got some use to it. It's a beautiful little water bottle here.
It's nice.
KBVR. Where's KBVR?
I don't know. Why are we
Is he
giving?
cheating on us?
I was gonna say,
KBVR.
why are we giving pub to another radio station?
I don't
Why do
know.
you keep saying it?
I don't know. Because I'm curious.
The student news site of Oregon State University.
There you go. I will give love to any student radio program.
Oh,
Huh?
KBVR,
Teaching the youth.
BVR.
K Beaver.
Oh, BVR. Yeah, slow on the uptick today.
Yeah, took me a second too.
Today.
I will give mad love to any of the fine youth being trained how to be idiots like us. More power to you, my friends. I used to host a,
Good luck.
yeah, I used to work for KZUU. Huh?
Mm.
Zoo.
Mm.
Ah.
Or KZZU. I can't remember which one it was. It was a.
Why wasn't it a KWZU?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Already taken.
I don't know how that stuff works. I assume, yeah, somebody maybe already snaked it. Wisconsin State, Wichita State, maybe. I don't know. It was a independent music station in college, so it was like, you know, a lot of transplants from Seattle. You know, there's a great, since I'm not allowed to pub other radio stations, there's a great independent radio station in Seattle. So there's a lot of like crossover people that want to learn how to do that and get into that world. And
Is it the end?
no.
No, okay.
And it's and so it was, you know, it had DJs, students trying to learn how to be DJs and playing their music that they like. That was all independent, so you discover a lot of cool music. And then I approached them and was like, "What if you think that? What would you think if I did a sports talk radio show?" And they were like, "That sounds a terrible idea." And I said, "Well, how about it's just on like Mondays at 8 a.m. till 10 a.m. And instead of commercial breaks, I will play independent music." And they said yes. It was pretty awesome. And then whenever you wanted to go to break, you could go to break whenever you wanted because there was no commercials. And you could play as many songs as you want. So sometimes when Sundays were a little off the rails for a Sunday night, you just go in there and you just hit a playlist. And then, you know, did you guys see that football game yesterday? Oh, boy. Coming up next.
Figured out from there.
Figured out from there. But I used to try to get my hands on like recorded music from local bands in the Pullman, Moscow area, and then I would pump their music and say, "Oh, you can head down to Rico's and this band's playing," or you know, head over to the alley in Moscow, this band's playing. It was fun.
Did anybody care?
Probably not.
Okay.
I don't think anybody listened. But I did get to interview some cool student athletes,
There you go.
which was rad. Yeah, my favorite being Megan Ganser. She's one of the all-time volleyball leaders in Wazoo history.
They have a decent volleyball team up there?
That they did when I was there.
Okay.
I don't know where it is now.
It's no Nebraska.
I don't have Coug Insider, like Duck Insider, to talk to me about the volleyball team. So I'm not aware.
Duck Insider, I hardly know her.
Should have known. Should have seen that coming.
Step into a Slim Jim.
Should have seen that one coming.
Stuff out here.
Yeah, we'll be okay.
We'll be
I'm
okay.
sorry, I'm a juvenile.
Pot, kettle, pot. I mean, I'm just not there yet.
You guys smoking right now?
What? No?
How is everybody today?
It'd be a lot cooler
I'm-
if you did.
I'm doing okay, but I've got a twinge in my neck and is making it very difficult for me to turn my head towards you.
You don't have to look at me.
It does. Well, I mean, I don't want to.
Sometimes when I watch primetime on YouTube, I just see Sook staring off into the distance. And you're kind of like, man, what's he looking at? And then I've produced primetime, and you know what it is? He's looking at the producer. So he's like talking to Rob, but he's just like staring at the. You get used to it, but at first, when I first was working, I was like, dude, I'm not saying anything.
glaring into the eyes
No,
of
I-
one Levon James.
I was like, Sook, like he'd get like fired up about something, have a great take on something. He'd be looking at you, and you're like, dude, I'm sorry, man. I didn't say anything. I'm just here on the twos and ones.
Why is it that the older we get, something as simple as sleeping the wrong way can be so detrimental?
Dude, I had a hip issue last night. Funny you mentioned that. I woke up at 2:00 and I couldn't figure it out.
I can
I had to
barely
kick the cat off the bed. I was like, lady, you got to go.
Yeah, I can barely turn my head. I need to go see. It's been building for the last couple of days, and now I can feel it. Like, if I turn my head to the left, I'm good. I turn my head to the right. It's like I got to turn the shoulders a little
Move
bit
the
with
body.
it. Yeah, it's like like there's a like a wall right there as I start to turn. It's like that doesn't feel good, but it's like we talked about this yesterday. The whole idea of being washed. It's like, oh, I slept incorrectly, therefore I can't function. And the older I get, the more I'm like, I would not trade every hip, knee, ankle surgery I've ever had for a single back or neck surgery.
I don't
Like,
want.
you know what I mean? Like back and neck, every time I get any kind of thing that pops up, I'm just like, that sucks and blows at the same time. It impacts so much of everything that you do. I'm just like, yeah, I'm good with all the lower body stuff, man. I'm
said I need a backiotomy.
yeah, I'm totally okay with having my lower body be broken.
See, man, that's why you got to get to the ganja. Just
No, I'm
loosen you right up.
I'm good.
Loosen you right up.
You
It's
gotta
legal.
smoke it, just eat it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just eat it.
Let yourself smooth right in
I-
over the course
I
of
eat
like
it-
a half an hour or
I
so.
eat it and smoke it and inject it at the same time, baby.
I just
Triple crown over here.
I'm at the point where like, I'm number one. I'm taking so many less painkillers than I ever have.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
Yes,
well,
absolutely.
I mean, when you've taken enough,
Drugs are bad.
So
Yeah.
slip into the gummies.
nah, I'm just trying not to take any of that stuff now. To be honest, it's just I've beat my body up so much and taken so many drugs over the years to manage this stuff that I'm just like, let's try not let's not do that for a while and see how you do, see how your body reacts. I'm in that. I wouldn't call it like a midlife crisis, but I mean, I've lost.
Oh, I would.
I mean, I've lost a metric crap ton of. I mean, look, let's run down the list of things: golf clubs, new place. I'm getting a tattoo that's going to take up, most of my left arm. I've lost 130 pounds. I'm eating significantly better, with the exception of starting next week. I'm actually going to start making breakfast again once I fully unpack.
I don't believe that.
That's going to happen.
I don't
You
believe
just
that.
gotta
Yeah.
keep living, man.
L-I-V-I-N.
I'm still not quite fully unpacked. I can do dinners pretty easily right now because I'm very simple with the meal preps.
Wait a sec. You can't cook breakfast, but you can cook dinner?
Well, it's because everything goes in the oven right now. That's the only thing I have out.
Oh.
So
Well, you need a pan.
yeah,
Well, wait, does the oven not have a stove top?
I have stuff everywhere in my kitchen right now. Like I have not had time to put everything away.
Okay,
I have.
fair enough.
You could have used the second, third, and fourth quarter of the Blazer game to put it away last night. Hey-o!
You're not
and the
wrong.
night before.
And the night before.
You're not wrong.
Thank God
It'd
it
be
is.
a lot cooler if you did.
Damn right.
The problem with that being, while you're enjoying that game, I'm working.
Oh,
we were not enjoying
no.
it.
No, I flipped over to Michigan, Nebraska real quick.
Yeah.
We were not enjoying it.
Nope.
No.
I had the
It's,
itch to watch basketball, and so I just flipped over.
Yeah, it's
Watched the pros at Nebraska. By the way, now I don't want to get to it. We'll get to Nebraska later.
Yeah, we'll get to it a little
Those,
bit
that
later.
later.
those second, third, and fourth quarters the last couple nights.
Y'all want to buy some drugs?
Yeah, totally,
do.
dude. The wife looked at me and she goes, "Oh, are you?" She like poured herself a glass of wine. We were about to have dinner, and she was like, "Oh, are you having a sober night?" And I was like, "Nope, about to get up.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Not anymore."
Let's do it.
We are starting to watch Oscar bait movies.
Oh God.
Oh no.
Like the Oscars.
Do you watch the Oscars?
Well, my wife loves it, and the kids love it. Everybody dresses up, and we do like a bunch of appetizers.
Who's hosting?
and-
Do we know who's hosting?
I think it's Conan.
Oh, is it?
I think it's Conan.
Okay. That's
It's at least
Well, Jimmy's a little
well. Hey, whatever.
controversial right now.
Whatever. Jimmy, Conan, I can get behind, but you know who I really want to one day host the Oscar?
I thought you were saying
the
Ricky,
Oscars.
Ricky back again. I'm like, sign me up for that.
I liked Billy Crystal.
Patton Oswalt.
Oh, Patton Oswalt would be great.
I would love to see him host the Oscars because I don't think there are many people out there that knows film better than Patton Oswalt does.
So the Oscars are whatever. My kids like it. My wife likes it. It's a big celebration.
I'm not an award show.
Yeah,
person.
I don't really care either. But everybody dresses up and we make junk food and drink champagne and it's great. But you can see some good movies and stuff that's nominated. And so we're like looking at it and there's a woman, the wife of Kevin Costner in Field of Dreams.
Amy Madigan?
Yes, the girlfriend of John Candy and Uncle Buck.
I am the smartest man alive.
Yes, she is nominated for Best Supporting Actress in this movie called Weapons.
Yeah.
About these 17 kids that disappear one night at 2:17 in the morning, or 18 kids, something like that. It's like a horror movie thriller sort of thing.
217, was it at Canyon or Beaverton Hillsdale or?
And I absolutely hated it. I hate horror movies. I was very upset. It got done at 9:00, and I had to watch like Robin Hood to go to bed, the Disney version.
I'm very upset that my wife made me watch Together the other night. I wish I had that like 2 hours back.
But the Oscars
with little Diet Baby Franco and
I will
Alison
tell you,
Brie. Terrible.
The more pretentious and like filmsy some film.
Here comes Danny pooping on art.
Oh yeah, the more they go into it, the more I'm like, I'm not going to watch that because I'm not going to enjoy it. And I'm not going to say it sucks.
Dude,
I'm going to say it's not for me.
Dude, if my brain hurt every time I tried to think, I would be mad too.
No, it's not. It's not even that. It's just the more pretentious.
It was right there.
Give me Black Hawk Down.
It was right there. No offense. I love you. I just had to.
I'm just saying, Tarantino's got Black Hawk Down as top 20 movies of all time.
It is a great film.
It is a great film. God, the cast in it's a mile long too. But no, like when it was like, well, you just don't understand the cinematography of this and that. I'm like, I just don't care.
I find some of these movies very herbaceous.
Yeah, exactly.
Earthy.
There was a horror movie that like you'll never guess the plot twist like 3 or 4 years ago that we watched. It was some Oscar, and I'm like, it was 7 minutes into the movie, and I go, it's this. And
every time I do that, my wife gets so mad at me. She's like, will you shut up?
My ex looks at me and she's like, no, that's not it. And lo and behold, that was it. And then at the end of the movie, they stay in this like single camera shot for 5 minutes with no dialogue, no nothing. And it serves no purpose whatsoever other than making the runtime longer.
Yeah.
It's like, you need to feel this moment. I'm like, no, I don't. She got shot in the chest. She's bleeding out. She's dying. That's it. The end.
The Oscars are trying to give a lot of love to the horror genre these days. I don't know. I'm just not a horror kid.
The only horror
I
movies
like being scared.
I like being scared.
The real world is scary enough.
People that get freaked out by the gore stuff, like it's never bothered me.
Oh, I did watch somebody's like lower jaw and upper jaw get ripped apart in this movie. That was pretty
In
wild.
Weapons?
Yes.
Okay. That stuff has never really bothered
Wicked
me.
different kind of curb stomp.
It's the supernatural, the spiritual stuff. That's the stuff that gives me the heebie-jeebies. Like the more real it becomes,
they're here.
like that's the stuff that
like that moment in Signs where you see the alien walk across the screen in Brazil.
Freaked me the F out.
Right?
Freaked me out.
Did you ever see Event Horizon?
Yeah.
That movie
I've still not watched
still
that
messes
one.
me up.
The
Like
fish.
that one, like the whole idea of like, you know, that ship going to like literal hell and like the images that come out of it, like that's what makes my skin crawl. You blow somebody's brains out, I'm like, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Like I've actually, like, not to be gross, but like I've seen dead bodies and I've seen people die and like I've seen hellacious things happen in reality, and I don't know, desensitize is the right word, but like that stuff doesn't bother me. The supernatural stuff,
Well, see, like I feel like over the last 15, 20-ish years, maybe even, the horror genre has been taken over by the torture porn, if you know what I mean.
Like Saw?
Your
Oh,
Saw,
yeah.
your Hostel, that kind of stuff. To me, that's not a horror movie. That's just gross.
Yeah. Oakley Dokley. Well, we got a show for y'all
pivot
today.
out of that.
We got a show for y'all today. The B1G schedule's out. We'll have a little conversation about that. Who's got the easy path? Who's got the tough path? Might be looking to my left over here. That's you, Danny. And then what else do we got? Some Sean Payton news. Obviously, this Belichick situation in the Hall of Fame we'll get to, and the Browns have found their man. We'll talk a little college basketball today for a little funsies. Why not on a Wednesday? But we'll start here. I thought spending a full hour on it yesterday was enough, but nope. The gods have decided we're back. Giannis, kind of, maybe, potentially, theoretically might want to leave Milwaukee. We'll do that next. 105.1 The Fan. .1020 here, Portland's leader. Don't you forget it, baby. We are live from the shadows of the historic Fremont Bridge. 503-864-6326. That's the Fan text line, my friends. She'll let you interact with us throughout the entire day. You can also kick it live on the YouTubes, youtube.com/1051 The Fan. Join the chat. We're always having fun in there. You can choose Danny's favorite movies of all time in there, and we can read those throughout the day.
I love that bum back tune because that's what we call my second daughter a lot of time is Samalama Ding Dong.
Samalama Ding Dong. That is not Otis Day and the Knights. That is my second love, Goose.
But I will say that's the first I've heard it. That sounds like a good, decent version. They did it well.
And Danny will love this. They rip it for like 10 minutes of just noodling on a guitar.
Jam band.
Do love it.
A lot to get to this hour. We will dive into the travesty that is the NFL Hall of Fame. Oh, things are controversial in your Hall of Fame? First time, huh? And then the Browns find their guy. That's this hour. We'll have some fun with it. But let's get into this.
That is an atrocity.
I just can't believe absolutely ridiculous. But let's get into this. We'll save maybe the potential Blazer aspect of this for the big nooner, as we kind of spent a lot of time on it yesterday. But now that it's more topical again and back at the forefront in less than 24 hours, why not? Giannis Antetokounmpo has made his feelings heard, despite the word salad that Shams Charania has posted out there, that it looks like Giannis has finally pulled the trigger and decided that Milwaukee is no longer the place to be.
Shocking development.
Dun, dun, dun!
More on this at 6 tonight. No, I mean,
Wait. He doesn't want to stay in Cream City.
That's such a weird. Those jerseys are kind of cool.
oh, those, I
Yes.
mean, they're bangers.
but I
it's
don't like
awkward
Cream
as
City.
S.
Yes. Giannis, my friends. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, Giannis has hit the open market. So
we talked about this yesterday. The whole idea of like, what does it look like on the market versus the, quasi behind the scenes deal.
right now
The Bucks have to do what the Blazers did with Dame. They have to get the best offer.
we saw this with Damian Lillard. It's unfortunate we didn't get to see it with Luka because, in no offense to Damian Lillard, Giannis is a bigger star.
Dame would say that.
Yeah. So no offense to Dame out there. Giannis is the biggest star. We were kind of robbed of that drama with Luka Doncic because that would have been wild to see the offers lined up. Luka's younger than Giannis. Maybe a more valuable position. I don't know. It's hard to compare those two. They're kind of such different players. But we were kind of robbed of seeing that drama in the NBA of the offers that could have come across the table because I guarantee you there would have been a lot better offers than what the Lakers sent to Dallas for Luka. Danny, will this become kind of one of the most lucrative, craziest trades of a superstar we've ever seen?
Yeah, because Giannis is still that guy.
Yeah, Jimmy wanted out, but Jimmy kind of was on the back end. Dame, I would argue, was maybe at the peak, if not coming down on the back end. Again, we were robbed of Luka. I don't know how many guys of Giannis's stature and current still playability we've ever seen want to be traded like this.
There aren't.
Yeah, I think that's the answer, that there just isn't.
No, guys like this don't get traded.
So
That's fundamentally what it comes down to. And
Unless you're Nico Harrison.
So how do you I guess this is the interesting aspect. You have talked a lot, Danny, about you have interest in like being an assistant GM.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So let's put this is a job interview right now.
Yeah.
Okay, let's put your assistant GM hat on. I'm trying to hire you for the assistant GM. How on earth, if you're the Knicks, the Spurs, the Lakers, the Warriors, the Blazers, the Cavs might be in it, plethora of teams are going to be in this, if not over half the league. How do you trade for a Giannis to make your team better without giving up key pieces that are what's going to keep you competing? You follow?
Yeah.
Like if you're the Knicks, okay, let's use them as an example. How Giannis with Hart, Bridges, Brunson, and Cat would be a pretty wild starting five. But obviously you can't do that. So how do you figure out how to move those pieces to get Giannis and get better without deteriorating first?
it's not about those teams. It's about the Bucks. What is their ultimate goal?
Yeah.
That's what's going to decide what they want in return. Like if they're dealing with the Knicks, if it's a 1-to-1 swap, you're looking at a combination of players, an OG and a McHale plus picks, or a Cat and Deuce McBride plus picks. If you're the Bucks, does that serve what you were trying to accomplish? No, because it doesn't give you a premier young player to restart your organization with, nor does it give you the draft capital that is necessary to start a rebuild. What do the Portland Trailblazers have?
They have a lot of that.
They have young players, and they have the Bucks' literal picks.
Which today we said yesterday were super valuable, and today they're even more valuable.
if this is the S&P, you just had a 500% rise.
Sell now, sell now.
It's don't go. I mean, if the Blazers right now, you go full diamond hands. You hold strong right now, and because your opportunity is there. Now, does that mean trade for Giannis right now? No, but are the Trailblazers front office are they in basically everything right now? Yes, because there's maybe only one team in the league, two if you want to go that path, but financially they can't, who could just do it straight up. And that's the Spurs. The Spurs have the capital of young guys plus contracts plus picks.
They have a ton of young guys.
Now you can say, well, OKC has all of that.
Young
And that
guys.
makes me so angry.
Now the Thunder have that as well, but you're talking about fundamentally changing that team because you're giving up Chet plus young guys plus picks in order to do that. Is that the path they want to go down? Because you have SGA and the kind of like his window and J-Dub, like it's again.
You're also winning with Chet.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
do you really need to shake it up?
And now if you look at a team like the Cavs, like do you give up I mean obviously you do, but like is Garland Jared Allen plus
Would you have
whatever
to give up Mobley?
what you'd want to keep is
Mobley and Spider.
That's the crux of what you have, but also what do the Bucks want? They want Mobley.
I guess that's the interesting point is what do the Bucks want? Like I know it's draft capital and young star players, but I'd be curious as you're losing your franchise identity, the best player in your franchise since
So what gives you the
Kareem?
Yeah. What gives you the juice to get going again?
Yeah.
And the thing I keep coming back to, it's controlling your own draft future. And that's not me just saying, oh, because I cover Portland has the best offer. No, because Joe Cronin and his staff saw this potential. That's the reason they did this deal.
Yeah, welcome to the mainstream media right now, Portland Trailblazers, because those draft picks are, like you said,
You have
crux.
the keys.
Joe Cronin is getting 35 phone calls today.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe from the same person.
Well, every organization is looking at, okay, holistically, because, you go into the Blazers office, you go into any GM's office, right? And you know what they have up on the screen? They have a big monitor, and they have their salaries, they have their outlook, they have their expected value. Like throughout a season, in any given year, teams are calling other teams, hey, what do you think of this guy? Hey, what do you think of that guy? And they're not asking about their own guys, but they're also asking about the other team's guys. And so you have like this kind of running tally of like how teams view things. And now you have to kind of suss out the BS from both sides, but you have an understanding of like a perfect example locally. When Neil O'Shea was running the team, if you were at another GM, you knew how they valued CJ McCollum. They valued CJ McCollum more than they valued Name, which is an insane thing to say, but that's just how it was.
Yeah.
And so in order, like when Joe Cronin took over from Neil, when Neil got dismissed, I heard from somebody directly in New Orleans said David Griffin called somebody and asked, how can I get CJ McCollum? The second Neil got fired because he wanted to get CJ.
And guess how long it took for CJ to go to New Orleans?
About 3 weeks.
Yeah, not very long.
See, now, and this is where, look, I am a Blazer fan. I was born and raised here. I've grown up watching these Trailblazers, and I have my players that I like to hang on to and cling on to, like
See what
Grim
you did
Death.
there?
Yeah. Oh, clinging to.
What's up?
Yes. But I see this comment on the YouTube chats that says, "I don't know that I would give up Shaden."
Stuff him into a can and shoot
I'm
him
sorry.
in the
That's
sun.
the
I don't. That's
and I
Portland
don't
fan
wanna-
in a nutshell.
I don't want to call anybody dumb, but that might be one of the dumbest things I've seen.
You have a first. No. There's no well. There's no well. There's no room for it.
You
None.
don't know what I was
I
going
don't
to
care.
say.
There's no well, but there's Giannis Antetokounmpo is arguably a top 15 player in the history of the league, the second most physically dominant player in the history of the league. There's no well, but.
What I had to say has nothing to do with Shaden. What I was going to say is, well, let's put a pin in this and talk Blazers a little bit later in the show.
Because we're up
That
against
is
it.
literally what I was going
Because
to say.
we're up
You're like,
against it.
there is no well. And it's like, well, actually there is,
Well, there
buddy.
is. We have to go to break for the next segment.
Actually there is.
I refuse. I'm sorry.
It's all right. I wanted to get this thing get the juices flowing for you fans out there. 503-864-6326 or over on the YouTubes. You can hit us up. Let us know how you're feeling. They're already coming in. How you're feeling. Portland's got to be a part of this. We'll open that up in the Big Nooner to kind of have that conversation as we did yesterday. But now it's real. Giannis wants out, and the Portland Trailblazers are smack dab right in the middle of that. When we come back, 8 Super Bowls, not good enough. Not good enough. There's Kahuna with sports.
You ever had a big Kahuna burger?
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on The Fan, ESPN's Shams Charania reporting Giannis Antetokounmpo is, quote, ready for a new home at the February 5th trade deadline or in the offseason as several rival teams make aggressive offers to the Milwaukee Bucks for him, and the franchise is starting to listen, end quote. Sounds like a big word salad for Giannis has asked to be traded. The Trailblazers losing streak now at 3 games after falling to the Wizards last night in Washington, D.C. They're off for a couple of days before ending the road trip at Madison Square Garden Friday against the Knicks. The Blazers now 23-25 on the season, percentage points ahead of the Clippers for 9th in the West. Some news out of the NFL this morning as well. ESPN's Adam Schefter reporting the Browns hiring Ravens offensive coordinator Todd Monken to be their next head coach. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Russ from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for the Oregon Ducks, the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Well, everyone's all fired up here right now. Out there in the bullpen, Sunrise guys, Brand Man, they're all getting wild out there. Probably popping bottles. Thought I saw a cork hit the window. As long as they're sharing, I don't care what you do. You know, this is a free country. It's a free country. It even gives you the ability in this country to not vote for an 8-time Super Bowl champion coach to be in the Hall of Fame. You know, you can't count on much these days, but you can't count on Hall of Fame voters for being absolute rublers. That's what I got for you. Since you can't swear, it's rublers. All right? Bill Belichick, if you're living under a rock, has won 8 Super Bowls, 2 as defensive coordinator with Bill Parcells, and 6 of them as a head coach for the New England Patriots. Now, you know, I'm a guy that loves to have a little controversy in the Hall of Fame. I think the Hall of Fames are pretty cool. Football tends to be in the middle ground. I think baseball's the best one, despite it being maybe the most controversial. Basketball's a little bit of a joke. If you have a cup of coffee in the NBA, you're good to go to the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. But it does open up some weird things. Look, I've been on this record many times, Danny. I think you agree with me. Curt Schilling deserves to be in the Hall of Fame in Major League Baseball. Is he a jerk in real life? Totally. Has he been busted for some inside trading with Phil Mickelson? Totally. But the dude's got 3 World Series titles. I think he might have 4. I can't remember if he's on that Phillies team or not in the early 90s. The bloody sock, co-MVP, blah, blah, blah. You should get in, but nobody likes him, so he's not in. I don't know how you can, even if you don't like the man, I don't know how you can say Belichick doesn't go in.
There's nothing there that comes out of this other than to say people are petty.
Without a doubt. Bill Polian, he looks awful today.
Just what? Remind me again. Bill Polian, what organization was he a part of?
That would be the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, what was the team that kept running into the Patriots?
That'd be the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, right. Is real quick, Bill Belichick the most successful coach in the history of the sport?
Without a doubt.
Okay, just wanted to clarify that.
And like you guys have won a title. You know, you went to another one. It's like it's okay.
It's just the axe grinding. It's like, I'm not a Belichick guy. I don't like him.
Nobody likes Belichick.
But his resume, it's honestly, it's Barry Bonds. He's unassailable.
Well,
no, stop it. Take your base.
No.
I don't like the Barry Bonds comparison.
Different. No,
I know.
I don't like the Barry
Both
Bonds
of you
comparison.
stop.
No.
Both of you stop.
I don't like the Barry
Both
Bonds
of you
comparison.
stop.
No.
The whole idea is he is a Hall of Famer.
It's over.
He is unassailable. I don't care what he did. I don't care how he acted. I don't care.
Yeah,
it's
no-
like Bob Kraft. It's the same thing. He's
I'm
one
with
of the
you.
most successful owners in the history of the sport. There is no reason why. You cannot tell me. There is no argument you make. There's nothing you can
I
say.
am not
You
dis-
can sit here and talk.
I am not disagreeing
don't
with you.
care.
I am-
It is unassailable. He is the most successful coach in the history of the sport.
I
It
am
stops there
not
and ends there.
Disagreeing with you. Bill Belichick is the greatest head coach in the history of the NFL. And
Barry
there's
Bonds is
absolutely-
the most
and there's
successful
absolutely
baseball
zero
player.
reason why Bill Belichick should not be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Totes, my goats.
And Barry Bonds is the most successful and prolific baseball player we have ever seen in the game.
I
he's
choose
a
Alex
cheater.
Rodriguez.
You can choose whoever you want. I don't care. And so is Alex Rodriguez.
I don't
So-
know if I'm going to be putting on this headset again.
The idea that somebody would be this petty, 10 people
It's
would
pretty
be
wild.
this petty, is just wild.
It's pretty crazy in the sense that
He should have been unanimous.
without a doubt, you know, there you can have the debates about like the Eli Mannings of the world, the Phillip Rivers of the world, who I think are both Hall of Fame quarterbacks, but I can understand the argument on both. The Halls do weird things sometimes. Like I was looking at some great players that aren't in the Hall of Fame in the NFL. Reggie Wayne comes to mind. Adam Vinatieri is not in the Hall of Fame, which is kind of a weird thing. That guy's got 5 of them things.
Well, they don't like kickers.
Yeah, but his kicks were huge.
You mean you can make an argument he's the best clutch kicker in the history
He
of the
has
game?
wrecked teams' lives
But it's
because
like
of his
for,
kicks.
for multiple organizations.
Remember yesterday afternoon on my way home from work, listening to Suit talk about Mariano Rivera being the first unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer.
Sure.
He's like, is Mariano Rivera the best baseball player ever? No, he's not.
Is
No.
he the most liked baseball player of all time? Probably.
Well, I mean, Ichiro's not unanimous. Griffey's not unanimous.
Which again, that
the unit, Derek Jeter, he's got 5 of them things. 3,000 hits. El Capitan.
So I think sometimes
Mr. November.
I think sometimes, at least with the baseball, this is diverting away from a bit. Like
but I
with the
think
baseball
both
stuff,
those Hall of Fames are kind of quasi same standard.
right?
Is that fair?
Sure.
Like with the baseball stuff, a lot of that is likability, and you're focusing on who's the first ballot, who's the unanimous guy, and blah blah blah. This one feels a little. This feels it's spite.
Oh, it's 100%.
It is. And is it like also, are we worried about the cheating scandal? Is that it? Deflategate?
No.
Because if you're mad about Belichick and claiming that he cheated, is Tom Brady not a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Yeah. Because if you want to
If
say
you're going to hold that standard to Belichick, do you got to hold that standard to Brady?
Yeah.
He knew that ball was deflated.
well, I mean, it's
I mean,
got
I
that-
think it's stupid, but
You got the Spygate though too.
so it's Spygate you can put on Belichick.
Yes.
Deflategate you put on Brady.
but if you're going to put Spygate on Belichick, then you better put Deflategate on
That's,
Brady.
but also, look, I hate that organization. I hate both those guys. They both made my life just hell in sports.
Does Sean Payton get hurt because of Bountygate? Even though it was Greg Williams, I mean, he had to know. We just saw Beltran didn't really kind of got punished for trash cans.
It's all under your watch, right? You're the CEO. You're supposed to know what's going on in your organization, right?
I also didn't think that people hated Belichick this much. Look, I get he's unlikable.
Look,
but I don't lose sleep at night about Belichick.
But I think
two-
some of that has been exacerbated over the last
The North Carolina of it
year or
all?
two. And,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
and the
that's
North
true.
Carolina
The
and the
Jordan
Jordan
stuff.
Hudson and all
Yeah.
that stuff. Yeah.
But again, separate the art from the artist kind of a deal.
You don't like art.
Separate the girlfriend from the
The
coach.
sport from the sporty.
Yeah,
Black
I
Hawk
get-
down.
Yes, 100%.
Airbud.
Yeah, I'm okay on Airbud. More of a Teen Wolf guy.
Hey, that's okay. That's good.
You know.
That's good.
But Operation Dumbo drop. Get some animal movies in there.
No.
No, fine.
No.
It's Danny Glover's finest. Come on now.
I'm getting too old for this S.
Yeah, right. But the idea of it all, like, if you don't want to say he's not unanimous because you're petty and you're spiteful, fine, go be a D-bag somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that kind of old misery.
Mhm.
His record is unassailable. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. There is not an argument you can make that stands up in the light of day. Is there one for either of you that you can make?
I'm not trying to make one.
No,
I'm
no,
trying
I'm
to
just
say,
saying, like-
I'm trying to say that like I
Playing devil's
I
advocate.
do not like him at all. I hated that team with a fiery passion, but there is zero reason why he should not be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
You're good at being on the other side of that fence. Is there a devil's advocate play that is even remotely in play?
Nope. I'm looking at the list of head coaches that are in the NFL Hall of Fame. This is not correct. Sorry, wait for this.
Loading,
I was looking at a lot of these. Okay, now there's some that obviously are from a different time. Paul Brown, dudes like that. Okay,
Yeah, no, that's different.
There are people from other times. God damn pop-ups. Tom Flores, Joe Gibbs. Joe Gibbs is a great Hall of Fame coach. Is he Bill Belichick?
Nope.
No. Jimmy Johnson, great Hall of Fame coach. Better than Bill Belichick?
No.
Tom Landry,
No.
Marv Levy,
No.
John Madden,
My bias is pushing there, but no.
Dick Vermeil.
No.
Here you go. Then these guys are in, and these make sense. Chuck Noll,
Yeah.
Don Shula,
Yeah.
Bill Walsh,
Yeah.
Curly Lambeau.
That's the pantheon
Yeah.
that look, if you're making a Mount Rushmore of coaches in the NFL,
Bill Parcells,
Belichick's face is on it.
without a doubt.
Well, I think Belichick even passes Parcells.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
But like he's there. Like he's the prominent. What is it? Washington that's the first face.
Yes.
It's Washington's the first face. That's Bill Belichick.
Washington, Adams, Jefferson, Lincoln.
Yeah.
Sorry, no.
That sounds
Washington, Jefferson, Teddy, Lincoln.
Teddy, yeah,
Yeah.
because that was built in Teddy's era. You're not
Yeah.
going to have that monument built, not have your face on it.
I pick me.
Yeah, but like Belichick's face is Washington.
Should be.
You want to decide the other three? Cool, we can have that argument.
Yeah. Maybe Madden's the Teddy Roosevelt.
I'm okay
Yeah,
with that.
Washington, Adams, Teddy, Lincoln.
Yeah,
No, it's not Jefferson. I am an idiot.
or Jefferson. I'm sorry, whatever.
Oh.
It's Washington, whatever.
Believe in yourself, Harris. Believe in yourself.
Apologies.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. I mean, they'll correct it. He'll go in next year, and maybe that's kind of the Robbie Alomar punishment. He doesn't go in first ballot because he spit on an umpire, and I get it. You know, sometimes you lose that first ballot. They'll correct it. I think it's just I'm with you, Danny. I did not expect the level of pettiness to be as large as it is.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, it's the same level as Barry Bonds.
When we come back, the Cleveland Browns have found their man. But to get to their man, they took a really weird turn. We'll do that next. 105.1 The Fan. Coming up in hour number deuce, the B1G has released their schedule for next college football season. Some interesting little nuggies in there. We'll cover you Duckies out there and what that schedule looks like. Home, away, timing, buys, all that fun jazz. Take a look around the rest of the league. One team's got a rough path. Rough path. Friends of the program that is talked about on this program many, many times. We'll get to that in the 11 o'clock hour, plus a little college basketball for y'all. But we'll finish up some NFL chatter here, and a reminder, we'll get into some more Blazers Giannis stuff in the Big Nooner, so you'll definitely want to stick around for that. But the Cleveland Browns have found their man. They have hired Todd Monken to be the new head coach, much to the chagrin of Jim Schwartz. The rumors out of Cleveland are that Schwartz was very disappointed that he did not get the head coaching job.
Didn't even get the opportunity. He was passed over for it.
Showed some some tears, gave some hugs, and exited the building and said, "Screw you guys, I'm going home."
As a point of contention here, remember Kyle Shanahan was also in the same position years ago.
I was led to believe there'd be pie and punch.
Yeah, totally.
Hey, remind me real quick. The Browns, they good on offense. They good on defense.
They're great on defense.
Have they been great on defense basically since Schwartz has been there?
Yeah, pretty
Oh,
much.
okay.
I mean, Schwartz will be the new hot commodity at DC. Yeah.
And he's gonna leave a team to go take the same position somewhere else. Like that's when you know you screwed up.
Yeah, it's interesting. We kind of talked about this a little bit with some other coaching hires, and not just about swinging from offense to defense or things like that, but when you are a coordinator and you're looking for your first head coaching job, are you kind of just willing to take anything, or does a fit matter? We saw McDaniel decide to go back to coordinating instead of getting a head coaching job. If you're Monken, I mean, do you just want that opportunity so bad? Because there's nothing that says this is a good idea.
No, but I mean, on the other side of this is we keep going back to this one because I think it is the way that if you are a young coordinator, you should look at things if you have the potential to, and that's what Ben Johnson did last year.
Mm-hmm.
Went down there, talked to the Commanders, and was like, I don't like this. Like, I think it is incredibly difficult, incredibly mature. And I'm trying to find the right word for it, but to have a pursuit of something, which all of these guys do, to have the wherewithal to be able to, quote us here a little bit, stand 10 toes and say no to a head coaching job when there's only 32 of those things. And 10 of them came open this year? Is that the final total?
Yeah, 9 or 10, somewhere around there.
That's a little bit more than usual. And
A little more than usual, yeah.
And you did, I would say probably 6.5 is probably where I put the number off the top of my head.
Yeah, I bet you that's a fair number.
So, and you don't know what you're going to do next year as far as like, does your team regress because your quarterback got hurt and all of a sudden you're down the pecking order? You know what I mean? Like, you just don't know. You just don't know how that's going to go. And to have the courage to say no to a team who just had Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, and I would think Cleveland would be an easy no.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yet, and I'm not faulting Monken here. I'm giving Ben Johnson the praise for doing that. Now, Monken could go in there and, the Browns could take another quarterback and maybe he gets them on track on that side. When they had Baker, they did have a year where he was really good. And then the next year he came back and he played through the shoulder and he wanted to kill Stefanski because he helped ship him out because it wasn't as good, even though he played with half an arm. And Baker's made that known. That's a fun one to get to.
Made that very well known.
And Stefanski has not addressed it really. He's kind of downplayed that a little bit.
Yeah,
so
moving on,
we're gonna put that over there. But I trust literally nothing the Browns do. To be honest, I don't trust things the Browns don't do.
Yeah,
like with Schwartz.
Yeah. And then there's also this weird thing. Andrew Berry is like taking what they're calling the Harvard approach to hiring. So they're like giving people like tests to check their psyche and, digging deep into their psyche and soul and personality. Can you draw a Sean McVay type play? Like, that's so strange to me. Now, if you are, say this was the New England Patriots. They're looking for a new head coach, all right? They have a history of winning. Andy Reid retires. Kansas City Chiefs are looking for a new head coach. Eagles get done with Sirianni. They're looking for a new coach. Teams with success that have high standards, you want to ask those kind of weird off-the-wall questions. You want to kind of say to me, well, talk to me about your psyche. Where are you? XYZ, all this stuff. That I get. When you are a dumpster fire, my question is, how are you going to fix this?
Yes.
Are you crazy? I don't care. Are you quiet? I don't care. How are you going to fix
What
this?
is your methodology, and how does it work, and why will it work here, and why will it be different from everything else that we've experienced?
Are you weird and quiet like Mike McDaniel? Are you crazy in kneecaps like Dan Campbell? I don't really care. Are you going to turn this around and help me win games?
And how are you going to do
Now,
it?
because Cleveland doesn't have the power in this situation,
Mm-hmm.
they're looking for someone to say yes. You know, have you ever been to a job interview and then halfway through the job interview,
You realize they're desperate?
they're trying to convince you why
Mm-hmm.
you should work here? It should be the other way. You should be convincing them why they should hire you.
I've had 2 interviews like that, and I turned both of them down.
I took one of those jobs, and it was a terrible, and this is a long time ago.
Yeah.
It was a terrible, terrible idea.
Yep.
But if you
It
were,
got me to ask the question, so
But if-
like, why?
But if you're desperate, like I was in the time, this was probably 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
If you're desperate like I was in the time, or if you're Todd Monken, are you desperate enough that it's like, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it, because that's what this job feels like. And what's the leash on Monken?
It's probably long.
Stefanski won 2 Coach of the Years and was there for what, 5 years?
Mhm. Which-
That's it.
Well, 5 years in the NFL, especially when you're on a dumpster fire
2
team.
Coaches of the Year
I'm
though.
look, I think Stefanski's a very good coach, but I also think that, like all things in the NFL, it percolates down from ownership, and almost all owners in the NFL are bad. It's just a sliding scale of bad to worse.
I think voters twice agreed that Kevin Stefanski was a hell of a coach.
Yes.
Yep.
So the big part of it obviously comes down to quarterback, and you know
You don't have it in house.
No, and remember, we all saw it during the draft when they took Shador, what that room looked like, and then ownership comes out and says, "I had nothing to do with Shador," and it's like, really? Because there wasn't a single person in that room in that round where they were like, "Yeah, Shador, we got you. You fell, and we're going to take you here."
We're so stoked to get you with the 375th pick in the draft.
And then you get this stuff coming out from the Shador fans of like Stefanski sabotaging him, and that's actually what's happening here. And it's like,
No,
Okay.
you're a 5th round pick, bro.
It's like, okay, so if Stefanski and the coaching staff were secretly the ones behind this, why would the coaching staff sabotage him?
T's
like-
and P's, Brown fan.
It's just none of it makes any sense. And if you're Monken, I would imagine going in there, the only way I would take this job, and this is me, not him, is if you've got carte blanche to do anything and everything.
Yeah, or if you're looking at the Stefanski route and you're going, look, if I have some success here and I am showing people that I am a qualified, talented head coach,
I can go somewhere else.
I can fail up. Yeah, maybe I can fail up. And Stefanski, might not be fair to say he failed up, but Atlanta, that's a damn good job right now. That was talked about as the best, one of the best, if not the best, job openings available. Maybe he sees it that way. That if I just this
It's a
team
stepping
might
stone.
Yeah, this team might, I am Eric Morris and I'm at Oklahoma State this year out of North Texas because after that, I might be at Wisconsin. I might be at Florida State. You never know. Maybe he looks at it that way. We come back in hour number deuce. We'll get into the B1G, just released their 2026 football schedule. We'll take a look at your Oregon Ducks along with some other key matchups throughout the conference. Hour number 2 is next. That's Danny. I'm Patrick. 105.1 The Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Jeff Rust here with your Sports Center update. First on the Fan, ESPN's Shams Charania reporting Giannis Antetokounmpo is, quote, ready for a new home at the February 5th trade deadline or in the offseason as several rival teams make aggressive offers to the Milwaukee Bucks for him, and the franchise is starting to listen, end quote. That sounds like a big word salad for Giannis wants to get traded. The Trailblazers losing streak now at 3 games. They fell to the Wizards last night in our nation's capital. Now off for a couple of days before ending the road trip at Madison Square Garden Friday against the Knicks. Portland now 23-25 on the season. They are percentage points ahead of the Clippers for 9th in the West. Some news out of the NFL this morning as well. ESPN's Adam Schefter reporting the Browns hiring Ravens offensive coordinator Todd Monken to be their next head coach, and the Jets, the first team in NFL history to go an entire season without intercepting a pass. They are hiring former Dolphins assistant Brian Duker as their defensive coordinator. Head coach Aaron Glenn expected to call defensive plays as Duker has no previous play calling experience. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Russ from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Recruiting with Andrew Nemec, Thursday evenings at 7 after Isaac and Suk on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
All right, hour number deuce here. You're missing the first hour. You can download that, the Fan Podcast, 1051thefan.com. The Odyssey app, wherever you get your podcasts. YouTube.com/1051thefan. If you missed West Coast Bias edition of Primetime, you'll get another one tonight. But if you missed yesterday, you can check that out, the Odyssey app, wherever you get your podcast. YouTube, if you missed the Sunrise guys. Lucy Birch, the Queen of Dongs, was on this morning. You can get that, 1051thefan.com, the Odyssey app. YouTube, rewind, fast forward. Except in the future, that'd be impossible.
That's improbable, but not impossible.
Coming up this hour, we'll get into a little college basketball for some funsies. Even Web Gems has got a college basketball theme. And then in the Big Nooner, we will get back into this Giannis situation, how it affects the Portland Trailblazers. Plus, we'll slide in a little Sean Payton stuff as well. The B1G schedule has been released for the 2026 season. You know, when you first look at this stuff, I always, every time I looked at this, I was like, oh man, they got on the road at Wisconsin in December or in late November. That's going to be a tough, oh wait, Wisconsin's not very good.
It's still,
I know, but I have to catch myself
Yes.
a little bit when I look at this and be like, oh, wait a sec.
you do have
Like
to factor
Rutgers
in.
finishes up with Michigan State. And I'm like, dang, well, at least, oh, right, Michigan State sucks.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of that. Like, I don't know. Is Penn State going to be good? I don't know.
I think they're going to be feisty.
Is Wisconsin going to be good? I don't know.
I'd
you
say
know?
probably not. But
What does Iowa turnover? What does Indiana turnover? Is Illinois a good team this year? What does Nebraska look like? You know, there's a lot of questions like that. I think we know that Ohio State and Oregon are probably the cream of the crop. Michigan will be a wild card, but I like to have faith in Whittingham. Year 5 of Lincoln Riley and USC, big recruiting class coming in, quarterback returning. You know, I think those 3 teams, SC, Oregon, Ohio State, I feel confident will be competitive in that conference. Michigan is kind of my wild card. Indiana, I have to assume I'm going to give Cignetti the credit until he proves me otherwise. Yeah. I think he's earned that.
I think you could pencil them their over-under total at
9.5 easily. Yeah. You know, Bielema
comfortably.
Bielema's a good coach. Illinois has been kind of rolling. They had, took a back seat this year a little bit. But he's got them rolling. They're still good.
Just not great.
You know, you got new coaches at Michigan State, UCLA. You know, does Damon Williams take a step forward with Jed Fish at UW? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
I mean, how much of UCLA turns into James Madison West?
Totally.
You know,
Because we saw it work at Indiana, and not that it's just James Madison specifically to Indiana, but how good is Oklahoma State? Does it become North Texas of Oklahoma? There's a lot of those kind of factors in there. When you look around this, we'll start with the Oregon Ducks real quick. Your non-conference schedule, you already knew this. Weeks 1, 2, and 3, Boise State at home, at Oklahoma State, which should be a dub. That Boise State game is going to be feisty. And then home against Portland State. That's your non-conference schedule. The Boise State is a scary one if you look at it, but then you start right out of the gates hot and heavy. You're on the road at USC. That will be a big game. I don't know what the rest of college football looks like that week, but I could see that at game day.
You got just in the Big Ten, you've got
Michigan, Iowa,
Illinois, Ohio State. So, but USC, Oregon, that early in the season
could be juicy.
That's probably going to have some juice to it.
Could be juicy. The bye week is right after that. I think Duck fans that's probably the one thing you're least excited about of your schedule is the bye week being in week 5. You'd like it a little spread out. You're looking down. Ohio State's bye week is in week 8 before they go on the road to USC.
Yeah, they have a bye sandwiched in between Indiana and USC.
That would be very, very nice. I mean, if you look, I'm looking through this. The good news is, let's see, Illinois has a bye before they play Oregon. UCLA has a bye before they play Oregon. And it looks like that's it. So you avoid that bye trap that you had last year, which is kind of nice. Rest of the schedule, you get UCLA at home. So if you're looking to head down to Autzen, remember, you can catch all these games right here on the Fan.
Indeed.
Home of the Ducks. Week 6, you're home against UCLA, home against Nebraska. You will go on the road to Illinois, home against Northwestern. Here's where it gets tricky. On the road, week 10 at Ohio State. You'll take Michigan at home the next week. On the road at Michigan State. Finish up with UW at home. I think if you're a Duck fan, you like this. You're pretty happy with this schedule.
Yeah.
You knew you were going to get Michigan. I don't remember if we knew you were going to get Ohio State, but I think you assumed it. SC is on the schedule. I mean, I think the West Coast teams, I think UCLA, USC, Oregon, and UW should play each other every year. I think so. Just for regional rivalry.
Purposes,
yeah.
yes.
Make Maryland and Rutgers play each other every year because
they're
they're
the
out
only ones
there.
next to each other.
Yeah. I think if you're Oregon, I think you're pretty happy with this. I think it's a favorable schedule. Over-unders, that I'm not sure about. I still want to see how the rest of this roster fills out with transfer portal. I still want to see, Ohio State. Michigan's the biggest question in the Big Ten for me right now. But I think you feel pretty happy about it.
Yeah, I mean, your non-con Boise State is not what Boise State has been, but Danielson has been very good. He's a very, very, very good coach. What version of them you get, that's going to be interesting. I mean, you're not opening with nobody. You're not opening with Middle Tennessee or, Middle Southwest Central Montana, this year. So you actually have a real opponent there. Now, the Portland State game before SC is, we'll play our starters the first quarter.
It's got a little pre-Penn State to it,
Yeah. There's a if Oregon hung 28 to 35 points in the first quarter, would you be surprised?
No, I would not. Shout out, congratulations, Ohio State, to actually having to play a real schedule this year.
Yes, you actually have to play some teams. They have Texas, Illinois, Iowa, and then they get Maryland, and they're on the road against Indiana with a bye, then on the road at SC, then close with Oregon, Northwestern, Nebraska, Michigan.
Their schedule is not fun, man.
No.
Illinois, Iowa, Maryland, Indiana, bye, SC, Oregon. That's a rough stretch.
Yes.
That's a tough stretch. However, they don't take the cake for me, my friend. The cake getter in the Big Ten schedule release is for sure the University of Southern California, as they have the toughest gauntlet, I would say. They get 2 byes because they're going to play week 0.
Yep.
That should have been the Notre Dame game. Obviously,
insert Patsy here.
Yeah, we don't need to get into that. But you're going to go Oregon, UW, Penn State
on the road,
bye, Wisconsin on the road, Ohio State at home, bye, Indiana on the road, Maryland, UCLA on the road. That's a tough schedule. That's a tough schedule. For a team that should make the jump from what they did last year of 9-4, including the bowl loss.
Thankfully, they get Oregon and Ohio State at home, but outside of that, that is a tough. That's going to end up being a top 10 toughest schedule in the country.
Lincoln Riley is not stoked because if he goes 9-4, it might be curtains for him.
It won't.
This schedule is not going to be pretty for him. Now, again, I don't know if Penn State's going to be good. I don't know if Wisconsin's going to be good.
I don't think Wisconsin's going to be any good, but playing in Wisconsin in week 8 So that's going to put us in probably early mid-November.
Mhm.
Late October. That'll be late October. But weather can certainly play a factor. And we had the video of SC with the sprinklers when they were getting ready to go play in the rain. It was like, come on, guys, don't embarrass ourselves like this. This is tough. But I think Penn State's going to be frisky. I think Campbell's a very good coach. He's
Very good
bringing
coach.
a lot of his guys with him.
They have a pretty favorable schedule. After their bye, Penn State has Purdue, UW, Minnesota, Rutgers, and Maryland.
I mean, the only teams that they play
SC and Michigan.
SC and Michigan, if you want to throw Washington in there. Otherwise, I mean, you could talk yourself into Penn State. If they are a Matt Campbell-like team, you can talk yourself into Penn State winning 8 or 9 games pretty easily.
You totally could. You could. I'm trying to think at the end of the season, stuff that might have good things on the line. Obviously Oregon plays UW, Ohio State plays Michigan. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Nebraska, Iowa at the end of the year could be a fun little game. That's kind of it. There's nobody in here that really has super patsy, which is nice. Michigan, they have, they got a non-conference against Oklahoma at home this year, but they've got Iowa.
Penn State might have the most
Indiana,
favorable schedule of anybody.
Oregon, Ohio State.
They open up with Marshall, Temple, Buffalo, Wisconsin, Northwestern. And then they get USC at home, go on the road against Michigan, but they close with Purdue, Washington, Minnesota, Rutgers, Maryland.
Should be a good little season in the B1G. It seems a little more balanced this year. Seems a little more like we might kind of really know who the best team is.
I mean, Michigan's schedule is
It's tough.
I mean, they open with a quasi-rival in Central Michigan, but they have Oklahoma, UTEP, Iowa, Minnesota. Then they're bye. Then Penn State, Indiana, Rutgers. Then Michigan State, Oregon, UCLA, and obviously close with Ohio State. Like, that's not an easy schedule for Michigan.
Yeah. It is very obvious the big game for Oregon. If you're trying to look at the schedule to see what game you want to head down to Autzen, it's Week 11 Michigan.
Yeah.
Wolverines coming to Autzen is a big deal.
God, when was the last time Michigan came to Oregon?
I have no idea that answer. Other than that, it's UW because your other home games are Northwestern, Nebraska, UCLA, Portland State, and Boise State. I mean, if you're an Oregon season ticket holder, you're going to have a fun year at Autzen this year. Should have a lot of games that can win pretty nicely, If you can snake Michigan at home, which I think you should, and then, try to beat your rivals, UW, on the last week of the season, you're in a good spot. UW, real quick, we'll run through that and we'll get out of here. UW's got Wazoo, Utah State, Eastern as their non-conference, staying local for most of that. Minnesota on the road at SC, home with Iowa. That's a tough little couple game stretch. On the road to Purdue, they take a bye. On the road to Nebraska. Their last 5 games are not fun either. Depending on what Pat Fitzgerald does at Michigan State, UW's looking at a bye and then at Nebraska, home Penn State, at Michigan State, home Indiana, at Oregon.
They've only played Oregon, Michigan at Autzen once. That was 2003. It was number 22 Oregon against number 3 Michigan, and Oregon knocked off Michigan.
In 2003?
Yep.
Starting quarterback Joseph Harrington.
Oh.
That's what I would, if my math serves me correctly.
Yeah, they've played 6 times. The other 5 are at Michigan.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Buckle up, friends.
I definitely would have thought Michigan would have come once before, at least one more time before that.
Buckle up, friends. Autzen will be a fun place for you this year. And then if you want to travel to a road game, you got some options. You got some fun options. You can go to L.A., go to Ohio State, go Beavers. Do whatever you want. Well, when we come back, let's stay in college, but let's have a little fun college basketball chatter.
Ooh.
Couple good games back-to-back here in the old conference this last week. Michigan and Nebraska played last night. A lot of wild observations and just kind of fun to get the juices flowing as March is right around the corner. We'll go there next. Portland Sports Leader, 105.1 FM, 1080 AM.
To Cal.
You had it for a minute, but it seemed like a month. Now I'm choking,
Judging by most of you out there, I have a strong
I
feeling
always
that
get so much crap for playing this song because people are like, this is like one of the worst Wu-Tang songs ever. No, it's not.
First of all,
absolutely not.
There's not a bad Wu-Tang.
there's not a bad Wu-Tang song.
Exactly.
So, suck it, losers.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Remember what old Dirty said?
Literally over here on the other side of the desk, stretching and just like bobbing my head to it. I'm like, you let it go, and I'm like,
There's
good.
no bad Wu-Tang.
No,
The
let it
hook,
go.
the hook is undeniable.
Yes.
March is right around the corner, my friends, as we sit here at the end of January. So why not? Feel the heat. Catch the fever. College basketball is in full swing. There was a really nice game
Great game.
between number one undefeated Arizona and BYU. 2 days ago. Last night I was struggling to watch the Blazer game, so I turned over to Nebraska, Michigan. A really, really great game. Nebraska had them until they decided.
Oh, God, have we
Not to
reached this point of the sports calendar?
Dude, this game was
This is a
fun.
great game.
Yeah,
I
if
get
you
it,
like
but,
it, it's not that I'm
man,
trying to fill content here,
I
Rusty.
understand.
It's that you should open your damn eyeballs and watch
probably
some
should.
GD basketball.
I'll tell you what,
you're not wrong. I
Nebraska
probably should.
Nebraska, number 5 team in the nation. They were undefeated going into this game. Michigan only had one loss. For my money, Michigan's the best team in basketball. If you want to say Arizona, fine. I disagree. But Michigan has 4 guys in their starting lineup that are NBA players.
And that was what was interesting about this. Nebraska ended up like not scoring a basket in the final 3 minutes of the game or something like that.
Meanwhile, Michigan went to the free throw line.
And Michigan kept hitting free throws. And that was the really kind of fun thing about watching this game. Nebraska only went 7 players deep. If you want to know if you want to see the greatness that is college basketball, this was your game on display. Michigan, full of NBA talent up and down the roster. Nebraska, the team of players you've never heard of that go to a Final Four and you didn't understand. Bro, I can't tell you how many times I watched this game and there's 5 white guys and an Egyptian on the floor.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Price, Pryce, Price Sanford looks exactly like you think he looks.
The point guard's last name is the same name as the head coach. So, if you want a little engine that could kind of team, come on down, Nebraska.
And old Sammy Hoiberg, he looks like that.
He's kind of good.
No, he is.
He's a classic college
He's
point
a
guard.
college point guard.
Oh, he was so fun to watch last night.
High IQ,
Very much.
grinder, high efficiency. I think he was shooting like 56% from the field.
But
coming
of
in
course,
the game.
a weird, janky-looking shot, but somehow there's an NBA 7-footer under the rim, and he's able to, lay it up around this giant dude. I had a lot of fun.
He's also like a career 40+% three-point shooter. So,
I'm into it. The Big Ten is a great basketball conference this year. Michigan State, Purdue, etc. There's a lot of great teams in there. Big 12 as well. I don't know. It just, for 2 nights in a row.
You got 2 of the top 4 teams in the country, and they fought it out.
And there's a lot of NBA players on the floor, too.
And the thing about this happened last year where it was building towards it, I should say. The flattening of the talent across college basketball. Nebraska's not a basketball powerhouse, and yet
This is the most wins they've had in a season in 20 years, and it's halfway over.
And the thing about this is a perfect parallel. I was talking to Dame about this because Dame is the general manager for Weber State, and I made an offhand comment because he had this sick Adidas jacket on. I was like, "Hey man, when's the Adidas Weber State crossover coming?" He goes,
you tell me this, yeah.
when I introduce a top 10 recruiting class at Weber State." He's like. And when we started talking about Indiana and what they've done in football, and we started talking about other programs in basketball, we started talking about Arkansas. The idea that Arkansas basketball is legitimate.
All it took was Cal.
And that's the thing. He's like, and we started just talking about it doesn't matter where you are. It does not you want to talk about
college football proved that.
But even in college basketball, take it to the if VCU decided today we're going to dump all the money, we're going to go into NIL, and we're going to go get dudes. Guess what? They're going to matter. They're going to be relevant. It does not matter.
And
if
then
you want to be a team, you will be a team.
You throw, and then even before NIL, when we're all bagmen, I love VCU as the comparison. They have Shaka, and they come out of nowhere, and all of a sudden that program, for a mid-major quote unquote as we call in college basketball, they're in conversations frequently. Wichita State was this way with Greg Marshall.
Shockers, baby.
Shockers were fantastic. That Fred VanVleet team, he wasn't even my favorite player on that team. I liked the white kid better than him. And they were a great team. I believe they went to a Final Four. So like you
Look
can
at
do
Drake
this.
last year.
The what's the guy's name? Barry at Michigan. He was at FAU. They went to a Final Four.
Yeah.
Also, I think what's really fun.
Are we really talking about I like the white kid that year and then look at Drake?
Well,
What?
That's both of you. Sorry.
I didn't hear anything about Drake.
no, I said Drake as in Drake.
I
look,
know,
Look
but
at
just-
what,
yeah,
the
sorry. Anyway.
actual Drake.
I didn't know we were talking about A
No,
minus.
my apologies.
Yeah,
Sorry for the squirrel moment.
No, it's funny. I'll give you that one.
I really wish that we could. Now, basketball is a little harder because the bodies develop. I mean, they do in football as well, but different body types. I wish we could watch college basketball the way we watch college football, in the sense of, you know, if my team is the Portland Trailblazers, if my team is the Indiana Pacers, I want to watch this Michigan team because my Pacers are terrible. And it's like, which one of these kids could I potentially get in the draft? I wish we could watch it that way, but college basketball just doesn't have the juice like it does. Like,
I mean, you can if you're the Washington Wizards, you're watching Kansas, you're watching BYU.
but I
you're
don't think
watching
Wizards
Duke.
fans are.
Oh, I think they are very much so. I mean, Blazers fans over a couple of years were very much watching guys in college. Like they were watching the top guys. I know because the comments and the tweets and the emails and everything else that I got was when I'm doing these draft profiles on guys. Like, what do you think of this guy? What do you think of that guy? Like,
Yeah.
when you were in the depths of like you're a tanking team and you're bad. Oh, they lock in on this. They're like if you watch like
Well, the suck for Wemby was a real thing for
Yeah.
sure. Same with Cooper Flag.
and I mean
Mavs fans just didn't realize they had a chance.
No, and the Wemby thing, dude, like what put Scoot basically on the same profile was having that showcase game in Las Vegas
Yeah.
where he went at Wemby's neck.
Yeah.
Like if you're a fan of like if you're the Utah Jazz right now, number one, BYU's right there. Number two, your owner and your former general manager in Danny Ainge, they just somehow managed to finagle $8 million to BYU. It somehow ended up in AJ DeBonce's lap.
Yeah, does DeBonce have Utah Jazz written all over him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Like the fact that hasn't become a bigger thing. Like
If they have the number one pick, they take DeBonce?
I'd be pretty shocked if they didn't.
Not
pretty-
my number one. I don't know. I like DeBonce a lot.
It's 6'9" and moves like that.
Make
yeah.
some free throws, though, kid.
Yeah, I mean that is kind of what it is. But I mean, going back to this Nebraska-Michigan game, like this is what college basketball is now, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to partake, you can partake. Now you have to spend.
You gotta spend.
Or if you're not going to spend, you have to go the path of Tom Crean at Marquette. Find chip on their shoulder guys and develop. The Tom Crean at Marquette is one of my favorite eras of basketball. That's where you get Wes Matthews from. That's where you get
Jimmy Buckets.
Jay Crowder from. That's where you get Jimmy Buckets from.
D-Wade.
You just go down the list. Like I always go back to this stat because people do not truly understand just how crazy it is. Jimmy Butler was the 75th rated recruit in the state of Texas.
I saw something the other day that had the all-time Marquette starting five, and it showed that it had tiers: first team, second team, third team. Jimmy Butler was on the third team.
Yeah, Tom Crean did a real
Also
good
because
job
Jimmy
there.
just wasn't what he is now at Marquette.
He was good,
He was good.
but he wasn't great.
D-Wade had no offensive game.
No,
no offensive game in college.
Wes Matthews.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's like you have to have an identity, and that's the thing is it's kind of like marrying Signetti with Indiana. He brings his identity guys from JMU with him to Indiana. If you're Hoiberg's the same way, like you bring your identity guys, and then if you've got the money, you go. If you're BYU, like we're talking about Arkansas, is BYU a basketball powerhouse? No, but all of a sudden they have this massive infusion of cash, and you go get AJ DeBonce, and you go overseas last year, and you go get Yegor Demon. Like you do these things, and you build the rest of your team, and you go. $8 million for you, and we're going to be good. And guess what happened?
They're good.
They're good. Arizona, they're going to go get Koa Pete. Guess what? Arizona's good. Like, they had all the stuff around it to begin with. Michigan, they were good. And they went, hey, speaking of UAB, let's go down to UAB. Let's go get Yaxel Lindenberg.
Yeah.
Make that happen. All of a sudden, that's what makes you great. You go. Oregon did this, in football. You go get Dylan Thieneman. You go get Bear Alexander. You go get Dante Moore. But you have the other stuff around it. Now it's a little bit different in basketball. But if you give a damn and you have the money and you have the process and the identity, again, I just listed 5 different things that you have to have in line in order to make this work. But if you do, it doesn't matter if you are Kansas or Weber State. You can do it.
You can 100% do it. When we come back, we'll stay in college basketball, but for a little bit of different reason. Kind of what Danny's speaking about there. NIL eligibility, biases now, voters being weird. what is going on in the SEC? We'll go there next, but first, the Kahuna with sports.
You mind if I have some of your tasty beverage to wash this down?
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on The Fan, ESPN's Shams Charania reporting Giannis Antetokounmpo is, quote, ready for a new home at the February 5th trade deadline or in the offseason as several rival teams make aggressive offers to the Milwaukee Bucks for him, and the franchise is starting to listen, and quote, that sounds like a big word salad for Giannis wants to get traded out of Milwaukee. The Trailblazers losing streak now at 3 games after falling to the Wizards last night in our nation's capital. They're now off for a couple of days before ending the road trip at Madison Square Garden Friday against the Knicks. Portland now 23 and 25 percentage points ahead of the Clippers for 9th in the Western Conference. Some news out of the NFL this morning as well. ESPN's Adam Schefter reporting the Browns hiring Ravens offensive coordinator Todd Monken to be their next head coach, and the Jets, the first team in NFL history to go an entire season without intercepting a single pass. They are hiring former Dolphins assistant Brian Duker as their defensive coordinator. Head coach Aaron Glenn still expected to call defensive plays, as Duker has no previous play calling experience. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy. He's at warrenallen.com.
Your home for Seahawks football, the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
they lose in the first round. But it's like, yeah, if you'd watched, 10 of the last 10 games, you'd understand. No, don't do that. Don't trust that.
I like waiting until March and then figuring out whose guys' butts look best in their shorts.
Dynamite drop in, Monty.
Yeah.
503-864-6326.
I will
Fan text
say,
line.
big butts don't lie. You want to talk about
Bag it.
a direct correlation line?
Charles Barkley, baby.
Big butts in college basketball, especially because there's just not a lot of big men. If you get a big old posterior, I'm trusting you.
I do like this on the text line. Wizards fans are watching college basketball because the alternative is watching the Wizards.
Well,
it's a fair point.
They won last night.
Well, or I can go find some Law and Order, reruns.
Yeah. Watch scary movies that I did not know was a scary movie.
Exactly.
Surprise!
Surprise!
Sorry, I'm out on Auburn, Oklahoma.
There is an Alabama basketball player that's caused a little bit of stir, Charles Bediako.
Mm-hmm.
He is a former Alabama star who was undrafted, signed a 2-way contract with the San Antonio Spurs. Then he appealed to be able to go back to college basketball. Now, Trinidad Chambliss can't play college football for another year, but somehow this kid, despite signing a contract, I know 2 ways are different than a full guaranteed, but signed a contract with a professional league, and he is allowed to go back to college, where the other night for Alabama on Saturday, they played Tennessee. He had 13 points, 3 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 2 steals, played 25 minutes in the game. There are now people that refuse to vote for Alabama, who's a solid team this year. Nate Oates has got it rolling there. He's a great coach, continues the Alabama program in basketball, does a good job down there. There are now voters that are refusing to put Alabama in the top 25 because they have, quote, an NBA player on their roster.
Mm-hmm.
They have they have a G League player on their roster.
Truth. G League.
They have
never played in the league.
They have a fellow who was signed to a 2-way deal that never once appeared in an NBA game
And went undrafted.
But did play and went undrafted. Did not ever appear in an NBA game. Did play in the G League.
And to make matters spicier, the judge hearing the case is an Alabama booster.
This is where it gets juicy.
The NCAA has asked the judge to recuse himself from the case. There's a
but he's already been approved.
Yeah, but there's an appeal that's in
By
right
that judge!
There's a preliminary injunction that's been filed, but it has been delayed because of weather, according to the court reporting. But is led to his temporary restraining order being extended for another 10 days. So that's where we stand right now.
Are we also remembering the status of that judge's wife, who was an attorney representing on the defense team of a certain player named Darius Miles? No, not that one. Former teammate of Charles Bediako in a murder case.
Oh, yikes. Oh, that's right. The Brandon Miller thing. These people are weird.
Yeah, Darius Miles, not that one.
Yeah.
I know. I really wish.
No way. Alabama, incestuous?
This is just another one of those weird things that college sports just don't make sense.
I will counter
Rules
that.
for thee, but not for me.
I will counter that.
Yeah, you think this guy should be allowed to play, but Trinidad Chambliss should not.
Well, no. Trinidad Chambliss should be allowed to play. That's I formally
Okay.
1,000% agree that Trinidad Chambliss should be allowed to
As
play.
long as we're all on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it.
Oh,
keep
'cause it'll
doing
just-
it. Keep doing it.
It'll just tear the whole thing down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tear it down.
I know.
By letter of the law, he has not done anything wrong.
I know
and
we were
why
hoping.
is it different for international players?
By letter of the law.
Well, that's
why
what
is
we-
it different for
because
international
he's
players?
Canadian.
And we talked about that a
No,
couple
I
years
mean
ago.
in terms of players that will play in an Italian league or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And then come here and play in college. Why
Talked
is
about that a couple
different?
weeks ago with John Calipari. He was asking the same thing. Why don't we have the same rules for the European kids?
Because they can't regulate it because it's a different economy, different countries.
Yeah, well, I don't think economy has anything to do with it. I think it's just
Well, no.
countries and laws.
Well, not just that. You can't have a 14-year-old playing professionally in the U.S. In Europe, you can.
Well, yeah, that's laws.
But that's also the economy part of it. Is they allow that to be facilitated. So it is a way for it. It's no different than somebody going and working at Chick-fil-A. That doesn't matter. It's
but if I go work at Chick-fil-A, I'm not automatically, ineligible to play in the NCAA.
Again, that's their.
You work at Chick-fil-A, but now you can't work at Buffalo Wild Wings, which would be a step up.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
You know, your natural progression before you get to Ruth Chris Steakhouse.
But this is all again.
And plus, the only reason I would want to work for Chick-fil-A would be to have Sundays off. But
But the other part of this though that kind of comes in, and this is why I think
for the
it's
Lord, right?
This
For
is
the
why
Lord.
this is why
Of
I think
course.
it's so dumb. Is I think they have it right with the European players. Why shouldn't they be?
no, and that's my point too. Is I think exactly the same.
That's what will tear this down.
So why shouldn't it be okay for an undrafted player
Who has not appeared in the NBA?
who has not played in the NBA, signed a 2-way contract? Yes, never appeared in the NBA.
I'm 100% okay
Played a
with
few
it.
games in the G League. Why is that any different than a European player that goes and plays professionally at the age of 14 to 18 and then coming back here to play in college? I don't think that's any different.
Here's a local example. Denny Avdia was a professional at 14 years old. If Denny had gone and played college basketball, he would have been able to. Why is that any different for Denny to play, or take any international player, Alex Sarr, Zachary Rizachet, any of these guys, Victor Wembanyama? You know, Wemby, had he gone to college, he played for, Met 72. Like, what's the difference between that and college? Genuinely. You're playing with older guys, but you're not playing in the NBA.
You're preaching to the choir here,
and
brother.
And if you're playing on, like, let's say you're playing for a Nike Select AAU team, like or the Team USA Select, like the team basically that plays at Hoop Summit, the U.S. team. If you're playing for that team, why do you get to go play college? You're getting all the pomp and circumstance and all the pampering that comes with playing with USA basketball. You're getting all the training. You're getting all the backup. You're getting the money, all the things that go with it. Why can you go play college basketball?
Well, and to me, it's almost like the same thing as like reclassifying your high school class just for stupid
The
college
academic
eligibility
reasons,
reasons.
I mean, Cooper
you know what
Flagg
I mean?
did it. He went and played in college
I know.
basketball at 17 years old.
And this isn't even, that's not even college basketball. That includes football too, because you have players doing that in football too.
Get you on campus as soon as possible.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just let the damn kids play.
Yes. Look, it is playing in the NBA, that's a bridge too far for me. Like if that part of it.
Yes. If you appeared in the NBA and you played in an NBA game, no.
Yeah.
You cannot go back and play in a collegiate capacity.
What is the difference? And this is maybe it's a bridge too far, but I'm just thinking out loud here. What is the difference of, occasionally we get the 34-year-old that goes back to college and goes and plays basketball.
Right. Or
Chris Weinke.
The Chris Weinke.
Yeah, like,
exactly.
Why is that different? Because it's a different sport. Why is that different? I have played professionally. Why is that? Why is that any different?
My clock never started. I could go somewhere and play.
Yeah, but
Coach probably wouldn't put me in.
Yeah, I know, but
plus the knee injury.
I could still throw this ball over those mountains over there.
But you know what I mean? Like,
he's a big ass boy.
All these rules that we looked at for so long of like the NCAA is doing right. No, what they were doing was protecting their own rear ends.
Right. They're
That's
still doing that.
all they were doing.
And their bottom line.
That's all they were ever doing. And so I hope this keeps happening, and Cal gets whiny, and Pitino gets whiny, and they all get whiny because, wow, Oates beat us to the punch.
Yeah, let's have some fun with that.
At least Nick Saban and Coach K, they got out of it when they decided, like, look,
they want no part of it anymore.
I can't do this anymore. It's not the same game. I love Duke, but I'm out.
No, we couldn't manipulate the rules any further.
Let's have some fun with this, talking about coaches and like wins and all that kind of stuff. Someone just hit a milestone. Or did they? Web Gems is next, 105.1 The Fan.
Sometimes it's good.
Aw, I've interrupted happy time.
Sometimes it's bad.
No, son of a...
It's Web Gems,
What'd you do?
the firm of Harris and Meringue on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 and 1080 The Fan.
All right, this is Web Gems. Do it every single day at 11:45. Thanks for being a part of our day. We're happy to be with you. Coming up at the Big Nooner, talk a little Sean Payton and the Broncos, some fallout from that situation as they lose to the Patriots as the Patriots enter the Super Bowl. Try to sprinkle in some Super Bowl adjacent stuff as we get closer and closer. All next week will be a lot of fun with Super Bowl. And yes, we will get back into the Blazers. They lose a really crappy game yesterday against a 9-game losing streak. Wizards, not a whole lot to talk about. Bad shooting night, etc. Shea at 31, which is nice.
He was really good last night.
Yeah, so we will. But let's talk about this Giannis thing and the Blazers being involved because I know that's on the frontal cortex. Frontal cortex. Thank you. If I had one, I could have said that.
There you go.
For all of you fans out there.
Lobotomy.
God, my head hurts.
So we'll get there in the Big Nooner. Also, more importantly, in the Big Nooner, for it is a Wednesday, my friends.
I don't care.
Perfect.
Posey decked him.
That's what's going to happen after this show.
You're welcome.
That's the second time he's threatened to punch somebody this week.
I know. Well, I'm getting spicy.
I like it.
Congratulations to Richard Pitino. Your Web Gems today brought to you by the old Louisville, Kentucky coach. UMass, not UMass, currently at St. John's. Not having as great of a year as did last year, beside the point. He has touched 900 wins. He is on the list. Let's see. There are, I have this up in front of me. There are currently 14. He is the 15th coach at 900 wins. The problem is some of them don't all actually have 900 wins.
Well, they do. And here's what I'm going to do real quick. I'm going to use my hometown bias here. Did we watch Reggie Bush win a Heisman Trophy?
Hell yeah,
Was he
brother.
the best player in the country?
Hell yeah,
Did we watch
brother.
USC win a national title?
Honk your horn if Reggie Bush was great.
Okay. I don't care what Duck fan or anyone else in the country says. They won that natty, and they won that Heisman Trophy.
Totally. One of my favorite things about Pitino winning his 900th game was against his son, Richie.
Yeah.
He's at Xavier right now, and the graphic said something like, Rick Pitino gets 900th win against son. And I was like, dang, beat the crap out of his kid. You played him 900 times? You're 900-0? Damn. That's a rough line. So I thought that was funny. Would you care to guess? Okay. So I've got the list of vacated wins here.
What's he got, like 40?
Well, we're going to have a fun guess of who's the most. I will tell you the names on this list. There is Jimmy Boeheim.
Did he vacate anything from an Italian restaurant waitress?
Very quickly.
Wow.
Jimmy Boeheim, Bill Self, John Calipari, Rick Pitino, and Jerry Tarkanian.
I'm going to say Tark has the most.
Tark is at 55.
Where is that on the list?
That is low.
Oh.
Well, actually, I think it's number 3. It's number 3.
Okay.
It's number 3, but the gap between 2 and 3 is large.
Boeheim lost a lot of seasons.
Boeheim is number 2 at 101. 101 wins vacated by the NCAA. Number 1.
It's Rick.
It's Rick Pitino. 123 wins and 3 losses vacated by Rick Pitino, which actually keeps him technically at 44th all-time with 761. Providence. Why do I always forget Providence? It's Providence. Slick Rick. Great coach.
Yeah.
Great coach. For all the red asses in college basketball, he might be my favorite.
Oh.
I like him more than Cal.
Yeah. I have talked to a lot of NBA players that played for Coach Pitino.
You know, I liked Jimmy Boeheim a lot, but the end days of Boeheim really got kind of rough.
They were curmudgeonly.
Very curmudgeon. Calhoun might be the most underrated coach in all time of college basketball.
Yeah.
You know, obviously there's Kay and Dean Smith and stuff like that.
Pitino did it everywhere. Everywhere. That's the thing that makes Pitino so incredible. It doesn't matter what school he was at.
Number 8 all time.
But does it matter that he got kind of chased around to different
Pitino?
places because of his
Well,
proclivities.
situations.
Yeah, I guess. I
Like
think,
Dean Smith didn't have to go travel around to a lot of places.
but I also think North Carolina protected Dean Smith a lot.
Yes.
That's
and
fair.
Pitino was kind of left hung out to dry in a lot of places.
Mhm.
Now, maybe
well,
self-inflicted.
now again, did he do that on his own?
Okay, yeah. To your point, yeah, a little self-inflicted.
I'm
when
not
it comes to
extolling the
Pitino.
virtues of Rick Pitino as a human. Everybody's
Dude,
got their-
find me somebody on this
Yeah.
list that's a great human
Yeah.
being.
yeah.
My favorite human being, not to get into list radio here, but when you look at the top 10 wins of all time in college basketball, number 8 is Bobby Huggins,
Yeah.
the Huggy Bear.
That-
Love me some
Yeah, you
Huggy
probably
Bear.
got a lot of terrible dudes on there. don't you?
Love me some Huggy Bear.
Huggy's the coach that I would have loved to play for.
Dude, Huggy is super thin right now
Yep.
with a homeless-looking beard and a maggot hat.
Yep. He's
That's Bob Huggins right now.
And that was the dude. He
I
was
saw
going to go
that-
out and he was going to buy the brews for post game.
Hell yeah.
yeah. He's all
Probably
GLP
get
one up.
popped on the way home for it too.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, no. Again, I'm not extolling those virtues, but as far as like guys that I've talked to that have played for coaches, not a single player has a sideways word to say about Rick Pitino.
Oh, of course not.
He loves his guys.
Yeah,
Of course.
he got him hooked up.
Well, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And even guys that didn't play for him.
Mhm.
That's the thing.
I'll never forget that kid that was crying when Ware broke his leg.
Oh god.
And then they won a natty. That was pretty cool.
No, Pitino, like there's no this is the Belichick Bonds Pitino. Throw him in this list too. You cannot tell the story of college basketball without Rick Pitino.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, no, of course not.
And
Of course not.
And there's no like, well, his fake. No,
No.
he's got 900 wins. Shut up and go.
No,
I
I'm
don't
not going to
care.
listen to that, especially if I have to listen to Calipari, you know.
I don't.
And Bill Self.
All of them.
I mean, I
Well,
love
and
Bill
you can't
Self.
tell the
And
story.
John Wooden.
You can't tell the
Coach
story
K.
of college basketball without Rick Pitino, but it's not just it's beyond the on court.
Sure.
stuff. And
None of
a
these
lot that,
coaches
same
in
with
the-
Wooden and Calipari. And,
That list is the list of the best bagmen in college basketball. That's what you listed off.
That's what it is. These names of all these guys, you know, they're the best bagmen in maybe the history of college sports.
Yes.
Because they've all won, and some of them have multiple places, and some multiple in the same place. Coach K, Boeheim, Huggins, Calhoun, Roy Will, Bob Knight, Dean Smith, Rupp, Rick Barnes,
Yeah.
Bill Self, Calipari, Eddie Sutton,
Mhm.
Calvin Sampson,
Tark might have been the best.
Dana Altman, the used car salesman down the road. Yeah, dude. Lute Olson.
Mhm.
Nice guy, Lute Olson.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, but Mike Bibby and Miles Simon went there for free.
Mhm.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did. Oh, but Izzo, he seems like a nice guy. Great bagman.
Yeah.
Mark Few, great bagman. Yeah. Cherry Tarkanian, the bagman.
Yeah. Like he might be the king
bagman.
of bag. He did not care.
Did not care. Did not care. All
Hell
right.
of a coach though.
Hell of a coach. The towel. You know.
Towel, I love a good towel over the
It's like,
shoulder.
it's like what's his name?
he
Cheney.
sat there. He ate on it the entire game.
It's like Cheney at Temple.
Mm-hmm. Forget bringing suits back to the sidelines. Bring towels back to the sideline.
Dude.
I love a good towel over the shoulder.
Thompson at Georgetown, the glasses and the towel.
Waving the towel,
Oh,
go,
baby.
go, 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 go.
Oh,
Like, oh God,
baby.
why does that subtle thing hit so hard?
Oh, I know someone clean. Bruce Pearl. I found him. I found the list.
There you go.
There's
Oh,
nothing
oh, oh.
clean about Bruce Pearl,
Oh, oh,
including
oh.
his sweaty ass suits.
Ooh, I got one that I know a lot of people be like, good looking dude, smart, won a couple natties. No way he bent the rules. He's great on TV. Jay Wright.
Oh,
Come
God.
on down.
Yeah, insert Jay Wright into the same Coach K level of like, I'm good, I'm out, dog.
Jay Wright gets hired at Pacific and they win a natty in 3 years.
Yes.
Yes.
Jay Wright, you want to talk about like
Good looking dude, though.
Yo, God.
Good looking guy.
Great dude. I've talked to him 2 different times.
Oh, yeah. I'd die to meet Jay
dude,
Wright.
oh, the first time I met him, I was like, hey, remember when you took that Villanova team and you won a title? Like,
That was awesome.
that was awesome. Like those Marquette and Villanova teams, those are two of my favorite like eras of college basketball.
Well, you should be a Knicks fan.
Right?
Yeah.
Those are the players that I've loved for so long, as those kind of players. And again, I love McHale. I love Dante. Jalen, man, you know.
All right, let's get into it. Giannis has made himself available, and the Portland Trailblazers become a major crux in this plan. But are they just trade partners, or is this a legit spot to land old Antetokounmpo? The Big Nooner is next. Hang with us. We'll dive right into it. 105.1 The Fan.
I'm
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Jeff Rust here with your Sports Center update. First on The Fan, ESPN Shams Charania reporting Giannis Antetokounmpo is, quote, ready for a new home at the February 5th trade deadline or in the offseason as several rival teams make aggressive offers to the Milwaukee Bucks for him, and the franchise is starting to listen, end quote. Sounds like a gigantic word salad for Giannis wants out. The Trailblazers losing streak now at 3 games after falling to the Wizards last night in our nation's capital. Now off for a couple of days before ending the road trip at Madison Square Garden Friday against the Knicks. The Blazers are 23-25. That is percentage points ahead of the Clippers for 9th in the Western Conference. Some news out of the NFL this morning as well. ESPN's Adam Schefter reporting the Browns hiring Ravens offensive coordinator Todd Monken to be their next head coach, and the Jets, the first team in NFL history to go an entire season without intercepting a single pass. They're hiring former Dolphins assistant Brian Duker as their defensive coordinator. Head coach Aaron Glenn expected to call plays as Duker has no previous play calling experience. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy. He's at warrenallen.com.
The home of prime time with Isaac and Sue. Weekdays 3 to 7. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Two down, one to go here. The firm of Harris and Meringue. We do this bad boy every Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Patrick Harris, yours truly with you. Danny Meringue to my left. Coming up after us, we'll turn it over to Duck Insider from 1 to 2. I'm sure they'll talk some schedule. Your home games at Autzen this year. So make sure you tune in that. Don't forget, right here, 105.1, the Fan Sports Network. We are home of the Oregon Ducks. Catch all those games live right here. Pre-game coverage, post-game coverage, the whole shebang. After that, we'll send it to Luke Anderson in the Fan Happy Hour from 2 to 3, and then it's prime time, baby. West Coast Bias Edition as old Roper is at Meat's wedding. I almost said Meat's funeral. I didn't want to kill Meat. Good kid.
Yikes.
You killed Meat.
I know. I almost said it. I felt terrible. Rob's at Meat's wedding.
I killed my meat last weekend. Wait, what?
So you get a West Coast Bias Edition of Primetime tonight with Jason Sukanik, the great Jason Sukanik, and our recruiting expert, Andrew Nemec. They also host a podcast, West Coast Bias. You can catch that wherever you get your podcasts from 3 to 7 to take you all the way home, finishing up 13 hours of live, local, continuous regional sports talk radio. I say Nemec, and I instantly think it's 14 hours. Not today. That would be tomorrow. Sean Payton, new news on that, plus a little fallout from the AFC Championship. We'll get to that this hour, but let's dive right into this. As you heard in Rusty's update, we talked a lot about this yesterday. It has come to fruition that Giannis Antetokounmpo has decided that Milwaukee is no longer the place for him to be. I think most people kind of assumed this was inevitable, a la Damian Lillard situation. It is not that the Bucks don't want him. It's that he does not want to be there anymore. And there's a lot to kind of figure out with this. They are able to sell high on Giannis, for he is still in his prime, still a top 5, top 10 player in the NBA. My biggest question first, though, before we get into some Blazer situations with this, Danny, is there any way that this goes down in the next 7 days? I mean, there is a way, obviously.
It's possible. I don't believe it.
I think there's just too much. I think you're going to have too many suitors. It's going to cost too much. Trying to wrap your head around
and if
salaries
you're the Bucks,
and
you're going
capital.
to want to take time.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to wind up being like a 7-team trade.
Probably, yeah, to get salaries right and compensation right and all those kind of people involved. I'd be shocked if this hits the deadline on February 5th.
Yeah, and look, the line on ESPN right now is multiple teams receive sense that Bucks opened the Giannis deal before the February 5th trade deadline.
I'm sure they're open to it if you bring me the right deal.
Yeah, But what's that look like? And
the value, the cost of Giannis will go down a touch if you wait till the offseason, correct?
I don't think so.
No?
No.
I just was wondering if urgency would
I don't
tick
know.
that up a little bit.
Yeah, Giannis is Giannis.
Giannis is Giannis. And I think the only reason the Bucks might be looking at this is because they want to get their if they want to do it earlier, it's so that they can maybe get a hold of a draft pick for this draft, a top-end draft pick for this draft, because guess what they don't have? A draft pick in this draft.
Yeah. Who's got this year's draft from them?
Hawks.
Oh, I think you're right. I think I heard that on the Sunrise guys this morning.
Yeah, they don't control their draft future. They just don't.
For many years.
No. The Blazers own their outright 29. Yes, they own their outright 29 pick, and then they have swaps in 28 and 30, which, might as well be their pick.
Yeah.
So 28, 29, 30, they don't have their draft picks. And then the other ones that are floating out there, the Hawks have one. I think the Pelicans have the other. So if you're looking at getting some of that back, that's what that looks like.
And enter the Portland Trailblazers. There are two doors that the Blazers can walk through when it comes to this trade. The Blazers can be a player, or the Blazers can be a facilitator for another player. I think if you're Joe, if you're the brass and the team, you have to look out what's best for the Blazers. And if I'm being honest with you, Danny, and a lot of listeners out there, you guys are all over the place in where you feel, and I mean in a good way, and you can text in 503-864-6326 or jump on the YouTube chat as well. I don't know what the best play is for the Blazers. Obviously, Giannis is one of the best players in the league, and I would love to have Giannis in this town and cover the Blazers with a Giannis Antetokounmpo. But I don't know if you're the Blazers going forward, what's the best route for you. Obviously, depends on what Giannis costs.
That's a lot of.
But it feels kind of win-win for Portland, does it not?
Yeah, either way they look at it. So
you are going to improve your roster somehow.
Somehow, some way. So whether it's Giannis or as a facilitator and getting somebody who really matters.
Mm-hmm.
So Bobby Marks, ESPN. I love Bobby. Anytime I have very difficult CBA questions, I'm like, all right, let me text Bobby, because he knows this stuff inside and out. He's got an article up, and I'm sure he had this pre-written as of last night, because it's real long. He has.
I think he's probably had it for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's fun times. But he has an article up with basically what can every 29 other teams offer. But he has the 11 teams with the most to offer. But he also has a deal difficulty scale, in order to facilitate. The 11 teams are Atlanta, Detroit, Golden State, Houston, Miami, Minnesota, New York, Oklahoma City, Portland, San Antonio, Toronto. And those
we got 10 teams in front there?
Well, no. That's not the order.
Okay.
That's the thing is, like, you look at the deal difficulty, the only teams that have a quote unquote easier deal difficulty, Portland is rated a 4 out of 10. Toronto is at a 3 out of 10.
Toronto have a lot of draft assets.
They do, and they have young players. And also, Giannis wants to go to one of Toronto, New York, or Miami.
No Golden State?
Oh, weird. He wants to go to a big market that has
very international cities.
Weird.
But no Golden State or Los Angeles Lakers?
Those are the 3 that were listed. And I've heard those for a while. For reference purposes, Oklahoma City is listed as a 7 out of 10. The Knicks are listed as an 8 out of 10. Minnesota is an 8 out of 10.
The Knicks seems like such a stretch for me.
It is, because it's a talent scale and age.
Miami, they just don't have a lot to offer.
No. Miami's listed as a 7 out of 10. Houston is a 7 out of 10. Golden State is a 2 out of 10, and I don't necessarily buy that, but okay. Detroit is listed as a 2 out of 10. Detroit I buy. I don't know how much I like the Cade Giannis pairing, but they've definitely been kind of setting themselves up. And then Atlanta is listed as a 7 out of 10. Now, Atlanta's a bit of a dark horse in here because they own their pick. And they also have young guys, and they also have that Pelicans pick.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Atlanta's draft assets. It's the most favorable between New Orleans and Milwaukee. That's that Milwaukee pick. A 2027 first-round pick that is the less favorable between New Orleans, Milwaukee, and its top 4 protected. They have a 2026 swap, less favorable between Cleveland and Utah. A 2028 first-round swap, less favorable between Cleveland and Utah. And then their 29 and 32 first-round picks. So, and the things they would need to in order to make things work. Kristaps Porzingis' expiring deal. That would be a big chunk of the money. Then you have Zachary Rizichet and Asa Newell, who are recent draft picks. It's like young guys. If you're the Bucks, you're saying I want Jalen Johnson.
Is the Pelicans pick for the Hawks available?
Yes.
I mean, that is
for Giannis.
That is a sexy chip to have if you're Atlanta.
Yes.
But look at the Blazers. I mean, the Blazers not only they have some of that as well.
Yes.
If you're talking about how Toronto, the Blazers have 2 of Milwaukee's picks that they 3 of them, excuse me.
1 pick, 2 swaps
that they will want back.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a plethora. Now, I'm not saying any of these guys are the right fit. I don't want these guys. I want these guys. But you have a plethora of young talent in Scoot Henderson, Shaden Sharp, Donovan Clingan, the Young Bong. You know, they're all in different stages, all at different points. You know, I know the Shaden re-sign stuff is it puts a little kink in that if you're trying to do it right now. There's the idea of the Jeremy Grants and the Rob Wills and the Drew Holidays of the whole shebang. Portland does sit in a nice position.
They do. If you're talking about Toronto, if Toronto wants Scotty Barnes, the deal gets a little bit more difficult. But they've got Ingram, R.J. Barrett, Pirtle, Emmanuel Quickley.
Is R.J. Barrett that great of a commodity right now?
No. I'm just listing off
okay.
parts of this that in order to make this work. Like, if you want to get your hopes up as Portland, not only do you own Milwaukee's draft future for consecutive years for the most part, you have Shaden Sharp, you have Scoot Henderson, you have Toumani Camara, you have bigger contracts in Drew and Jeremy. Again, this is why you don't just get rid of them.
Right, just to get rid of them.
You have Robert Williams' expiring contract, you have Matisse Thybulle's expiring contract, and those are ways, like, if you took something else back, you would get Milwaukee out of their financial situation that they're in. Like, if you're Portland, are you willing to do that kind of a situation? Or do you send them somewhere else and somebody else takes that? And
right.
Like, whatever that machination ends up being. And people are like, well, Shaden's got a poison pill. It's like, yeah, it's $8.3 million for you. It's $19.3 going out. But the flip side of that is, alongside that, you do have other contracts that can work.
Mm-hmm.
And Drew, Jeremy, Rob, Tease. Like, you can manufacture and finagle that and make it work.
Let's talk about that. Let's think about players that you would be willing to move. You know, what's too much?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll play Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
You play Portland,
Mm-hmm.
and I will throw some things at you, and you tell me if that's too much. That sound fun?
Let's do it.
Want to play fake GM here?
Let's do it.
Get your thoughts in, 503-864-6326. What are you willing to give up? What are you willing to not give up? And does Giannis fit for the timeline of this squad in the Portland Trailblazers? We'll do that next. 105.1 The Fan. having this fun conversation here. Giannis Antetokounmpo hits the trade block. Portland Trailblazers have one of two issues, one or two solutions, options, or do they? There's a third we'll get to in about 15 minutes. But we're going to play a little game here. I'm going to read some of your thoughts, and I'm going to play GM. I'm the Milwaukee Bucks. Danny, you are the Portland Trailblazers. And I am going to kick the tires. And I know, let's, for the sake of semantics and the sake of the fun of the simulation here, let's not necessarily fully worry about money, okay? Obviously, money's got to get figured out on some stuff. But let's be real here before we get into this real quick. The most important thing, and I think you said this best when we opened the show with this, is what does Milwaukee want? Milwaukee's going to want young, controllable assets and draft capital.
How do they prioritize their wants and needs, their goals that they are trying to accomplish? Is it getting financially solvent? Like, here's the thing. They probably have multiple goals that they want to accomplish. Mm-hmm. But what is the priority of those goals? What is the priority of ownership? Those are all things you have to factor in. Like, are they looking to go get an in-prime star right now and just kickstart this thing like we're swapping stars?
Right.
Or do they want somebody do they want to go the Clippers OKC route of like a metric ton of draft capital and a promising singular prospect?
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's say they traded him to San Antonio. We want Dylan Harper and your draft future.
Mm-hmm. Which is why I think it's safe to say before we get into this argument, Jeremy Grant might be a part of something that happens.
I would be surprised if he wasn't.
But I'd be surprised if his final destination was in Milwaukee.
I wouldn't.
Wouldn't?
No.
But he is not a long-term future
Probably
for Milwaukee.
not, but you do like all things. Like, look at the Detroit Pistons right now. Look at Tobias Harris. He's making, $30 million this year? There's a reason why he's there. He's a veteran, but he's also a salary slot. Mm-hmm. You can't just fill a team out with rookie scale guys.
It's a little Drew Holiday, is it not, in this squad? And Jeremy, for that matter, too?
They're also good.
Well, yeah. I mean, Tobias is good. I don't know if he's Drew Jeremy.
Tobias has kind of fallen off a cliff,
but
unfortunately.
He's been around for a while.
Love me some Toby, but he's kind of gone the Chris Middleton route of
Tennessee, right? Tobias Harris, Tennessee?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
Playing that phone game. All right, I'm going to be the Milwaukee Brewers, and I'm calling you.
Bucks.
You're the Milwaukee Bucks.
I don't want the Brewers.
I'm ready for baseball. My bad.
Great counsel.
I'm the Milwaukee Bucks. He's in Chicago. Nice job. I am going to ask you, hey, Joe, I'm interested in some of your players.
Mm-hmm.
I am interested in Scoot Henderson. Is he available?
Yes.
I am interested in Shaedon Sharpe.
Yes.
I like that big guy you have down low, Donovan Clingan.
That would cause pause.
That's a harder one.
I know. I think so too.
It's
Size,
positional.
It's positional,
yeah.
and he's proved that he's a great rebounder.
Not just that, he's a starting caliber big. If you make that move, look, the Blazers had an opportunity a couple years ago to get Zion Williamson. It would have cost them a couple different things, including Yusuf Nurkic. And it wasn't just losing Nurk that was the problem. It was, what assets do we have left to go get a starting caliber big that not only can play, but can play alongside Zion Williamson? Because now you need somebody who can space the floor a little bit. Now you're like, well, crap, there's 4 bigs in the league, and I don't have the assets to go get one of those guys. It's like, I don't know if I can go do that.
I am interested in Denny Avdia.
That's going to be a no, dog.
That's a hard no.
He is the only one on the roster that is a hard no unless there is a third team involved and I am getting something else back.
I'm interested in a package that includes Jeremy Grant, Shaedon Sharpe, Scoot Henderson, and my picks back.
You could talk about that.
You could talk about that.
You could talk about that.
Okay.
Because if we're taking that package, you're talking about a team going forward that consists of Dame, Drew,
Giannis,
Denny, Giannis, Donovan.
It's an older team meets a younger team.
2 becomes your 6th man, or Drew becomes your super 6th man.
Yeah.
And you
could rotate based on matchups. Some nights
to be honest,
you could bring Denny off the bench some nights.
I mean, no.
You could, depending on matchup.
You wouldn't. Though.
If you're playing Houston and they're big, well, I guess Denny's big too.
No, you wouldn't. The way, honestly, now the more I think about it, I think I would go Dame to Denny, Giannis, Donovan.
Portland, we are interested in, Jeremy, Shaden, Scoot, but Giannis doesn't want to come to Portland. Who would you like us to talk to?
I mean, if
you want us to talk to the Hawks, Triple J?
Memphis?
Into Memphis, Triple J? Get Jaw out of there. Maybe Miami's interested in Jaw.
If you're looking for those picks back, you're definitely not getting those players.
How about Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson in a first-round pick?
Absolutely not.
I want Miami to offer that package to Milwaukee and watch their fans melt down.
I just retweeted Ira Winderman. He's the one of the beat reporters for the Heat. The Heat were just here. I got to talk to Ira for a little bit. A long time. He's, to be fair, the only Miami Heat reporter that I respect. And we were talking about this stuff in general. And he has an article out like what the Heat can offer. They've got Tyler Hero, they've got Kel'el Ware, they've got Jovic, they've got Jaime Jaquez. Like, it's the allure of Miami. It's tax-free, it's Miami, it's the organization. But like what they can actually offer is not that great.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. I'll enter in some of these players, start talking to other players on other teams. Would they help move the needle for you? Players like Ja Morant?
No.
Mentioned Tyler Hero. Blazers are not a good shooting team. He could help that. Let's see here. Jonathan Kuminga.
Absolutely not. If you're asking,
if we're gonna go there, then Ja Morant can't help a bad shooting team.
Would you be interested if Zion Williamson could become available in a part of this?
No. If I'm giving the Bucks back all three of those picks, I want and it won't happen. I want an Amen Thompson, Jalen Johnson. I want a no doubt dyed-in-the-wool dude. A potential All-NBA dude.
Darius Garland.
Not quite there, and also they have enough guards.
Right.
And
that's position.
And
that
I
stinks.
love DG.
I'll bring this back up. Karl Anthony Towns.
No.
Mikal Bridges.
No.
Trying to think around the league. Who else could be available? LaMelo Ball.
No.
No, thank you.
If just going through a guy that you could talk me into that I think would fit and solve a lot of problems, Lauri Markkanen.
Markkanen would be excellent.
Markkanen is a guy that I could go, yes, because Lowry is kind of a hybrid 3-4, but he's a 7-footer, can play off the ball really well.
Anybody on the Kings?
No.
Levine, Sabonis?
No.
DeRozan?
No. And it's funny is, for a couple of years there, I really wanted Franz Wagner. Denny is better than Franz now, and he suffers from the same issue, except it's worse with the consistency of shooting. Franz just can't shoot the ball.
I don't know if Orlando can let go of Franz.
Trey Murphy III. I wouldn't give up all three of those picks, but
Trey would get you talking.
Trey, I give up two of them. I could do that. Yeah, two, maybe. Maybe I give you one of mine and one of yours back. I give you your earliest one back. After that, I mean, it's a. To be honest, it's a.
Is Austin Reeves on the board?
No.
If you're going multiple teams, because it's all weird down there.
Reeves is better than I think people give him credit for.
I think so too.
He is a scoring machine. He's kind of turned into a star scorer. You might be able to talk me into that, and he has enough size to maybe you can compensate for that. Jaren's on that list. Jaren Jackson Jr. I would listen to.
If you could get Devin Booker into this list of possibilities?
Yeah, but he wouldn't get into that list. Jokingly, I was like, Bam? No.
Miami can't get rid of Bam.
Look, if you were going to put a deal in, and they wouldn't do it, but Jalen Duren from the Pistons.
Ooh, we totally skipped out on the Raptors, who could be a player.
I want none of them.
None of them?
I'm
not even Scotty?
I'm not a Barnes guy.
No. I'm not an RJ Barrett guy.
Oh, no. Star J is not my that team.
I wasn't a fan of him in college.
No, that team is full of not my huckleberries.
Yeah, that's a lot of – the Knicks are that way for me.
Just like go with God. And again, Scotty Barnes is really good. Just not my guy.
Well, real quick.
It's a short list, man.
It is a short
If
list.
I'm being honest, it's probably like 7 guys.
Because I wonder if that's kind of the package, if you're really trying to move this, is Scoot, Shea, Jeremy.
Some version of that.
Some version of that. Maybe a Thibault gets thrown in there, or
Rob or whatever.
Rob or something.
One of those guys goes somewhere else.
But
or
those are
along
probably
those
the
lines,
3
like-
names most at play.
Yeah.
Because I think you're right. I think, is Donovan the best of those 3? I don't know that, but he's maybe made the best
the
jump.
largest scarcity of asset in the entire NBA.
A 7'3" rim protector
It's
that
size.
sometimes can shoot.
It's size. And that's what makes Giannis that's why Giannis, even as he gets older, it's not necessarily like people are like, oh, he's getting older. I'm like, and I saw some people, somebody said something on the text line or YouTube, like, are we really willing to trade a 2-year window for what could be like a 5-year run? Who has a 5-year run in the NBA anymore?
Nobody.
The CBA makes it impossible to do that. If you're telling me I have a guaranteed 2-year window because you have one of the top 5 players in the NBA, sign me up for that every single time.
I say this about the Kansas City Royals, and I'll say it about the Toronto Raptors. Do you think they care that Kawhi Leonard walked? Absolutely not.
Nope.
They got a Larry O'Brien there. Real quick, and then we'll move on. More likely to happen, Blazers facilitate or Blazers are a player?
For Giannis?
Yeah.
I think it's my default position is that nothing would happen by the trade deadline. But come summertime, the most likely thing, I think, in my opinion, is as a facilitator.
One of 2 options. There's only the facilitator or a player. Wait, or is there? There is a third option here if you are the Portland Trail Blazers, and we'll go there next. We'll keep this train rolling, but first we'll toss it to Rust with sports.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on The Fan, ESPN Shams Charania reporting Giannis Antetokounmpo is, quote, ready for a new home at the February 5th trade deadline or in the offseason as several rival teams make aggressive offers to the Milwaukee Bucks for him, and the franchise is starting to listen, end quote. That sounds like a lot of word salad for Giannis wants out of Milwaukee. The Trailblazers, their losing streak now at 3 games, falling to the Wizards last night in Washington, D.C., off for a couple of days before ending the road trip at Madison Square Garden Friday against the Knicks. The Blazers 23 and 25 percentage points ahead of the Clippers for 9th in the West. Some news out of the NFL this morning as well. ESPN's Adam Schefter reporting the Browns hiring Ravens offensive coordinator Todd Monken to be their next head coach, and the Jets, the first team in NFL history to go an entire season without intercepting a single pass. They are hiring former Dolphins assistant Brian Duker as their defensive coordinator. Head coach Aaron Glenn expected to call plays as Duker has no previous play calling experience. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Sports Saturday with Joe Fisher and Rashad Taylor. Saturday mornings at 9 on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
I am on Scoot. I'm not negative, but I don't know where I am there.
You really you love the mystery box. You love the idea of hope.
I like the youth. And I like the idea of these draft picks becoming extremely valuable when the Bucks stink.
And here's the thing. The likelihood of that happening is slim to none. When the Utah Jazz traded Donovan Mitchell to the Cleveland Cavaliers, everyone, and I mean everyone, whether it's people within the Utah Jazz, people who cover the Jazz, people who work in Cleveland, people who cover Cleveland, and everybody else around the NBA, all thought Donovan Mitchell's time in Cleveland was short-term. He was going to New York.
Yep.
That was done. Well, new CBA happened, and it was like, I better get my money. I'm actually okay here. We're a pretty good team. We're good. And those Cleveland picks that seem like, woo, baby, these are juicy, do not have that value.
Mm-hmm.
Go down the list of teams that has happened to. Those Clippers picks, Kawhi and Paul George, those picks have not been the most valuable picks in the league. It's been the SGA of it all that has been valuable. The tangible will almost always beat out the mystery box.
Yeah, I think what also concerns me a lot in this is that I just don't live in a world where I see Giannis signing an extension. And that's probably the thing that pushes me the most.
You don't do the deal without it.
Let me ask you that question. Does Giannis sign an extension in Portland?
Yeah. Why not? He's going to what would be a title contending team. Him plus those pieces is a title contending team. Portland would 100% be in the top 4 in the West. Without it, there's no about that. He's one of the top 3 to 5 players on the planet.
No, yes.
You have everything that you need. You have shooting, you have rim pressure, you have veteran leadership, you have depth, you have size, you can play fast, you can play slow. Defensively, you are a monster. There is nothing about that team that would not be an absolute title contender.
But how much of it is not just the on-court product?
What do you mean?
In terms of Giannis wanting to be here in Portland.
And what do you mean?
We got turned down by Hito Turkoglu and his wife.
That stuff doesn't matter.
How tough it is to sign.
It doesn't.
That's been the narrative in this town for years.
He's not a free agent. He's signing the deal ahead of time.
But
the thing is, so you can trade for him, and that's great, and he's here. But that doesn't mean that he will be happy here and want to remain here after the length of that contract.
So you have him for 2 years. You know what I like? I like a 2-year window for a title.
No, yes, absolutely. I am on board with that.
That's enough for me. That's enough for me. I don't care.
No, and I'm good with that. But I just don't think that it's it would be a God-given certainty that he would sign an extension to remain here.
That's where I live too. I don't know if it's a certainty.
Even if it's not, do you have a title window?
Well,
okay, then that's the end of the argument.
But I think there's where the hope is, though, is that the hope is the title window becomes 5 or 6 years instead.
It doesn't, though.
I know, but
what? Look, I'm gonna piss off Shaden Sharp fans right now.
I am riding the fence here and saying I got one foot on the side that says, "Hey, I'm good with Giannis here for 2 years if that's what happens," and I would pray to all of the Greek holy gods of basketball on the other side of the fence that he would want to sign an extension. I just don't believe that part of it. I'm good with, but I am good though with a 2-year window.
But that's the thing.
If that's what happens, I'm good with that.
That's the thing. 2-year window, nothing else matters. Yeah. Because I don't care how much you believe in Shaden Sharp.
But I'm not banking on him staying after that.
I don't care. I don't care how much you believe in Shaden Sharp. He will never be Giannis Antetokounmpo. He will never. No, there's no.
Will.
I don't think anybody's making that argument.
Nobody's making that argument.
No, you're saying, well, I could have a 5-year window. You don't know that Shaden Sharp has not shown the proclivity to be an all-time NBA player.
But it's not just a Shaden thing. It's Shaden and Scoot and those draft picks.
None of those guys.
That combination.
None of those guys.
Let them all go.
The likelihood, and this is not to besmirch any of them, nothing. There have been over, 5,800 players in the history of the NBA. Giannis is a top 15 player in that group. How are you going to do better than that? So that's what I'm saying.
There is no player that is better than that.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, why does the hope of a 5-year window where you have a less than 0.0001% chance of having that potential window even matter? Why does it even register?
I think we're all kind of chasing our own tails here, and we're all kind of trying to argue the same kind of thing, but just not quite getting there.
Yeah, let's take a breather real quick. We'll come back and finish up closing arguments. Catch our breath here, grab some thoughts, because I think we're trying to say maybe similar things, but in different ways. 105.1 The Fan.
I think I'm entitled. Which means it's time for the closing arguments. Brought to you by Leskin Law. One-day divorce mediation. Peace treaties, not war plans. Visit LeskinLaw.com for more information.
You want answers! I want the truth!
On the Fan Sports Network.
You can't handle the truth!
105.1 and 1080, The Fan.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Closing arguments brought to you by Leskin Law. Visit LeskinLaw.com for more information. Coming up on tomorrow's show, we will get into some Sean Payton leftovers of the AFC Championship, some debt by one college football program. Is this a sign of things to come? It's a 10 toes down Thursday. And we've got a little special surprise for you on the Fan tomorrow. That's all I can really say. But we've got a special surprise for you on the Fan tomorrow. All three main stations, all three main shows, I should say.
All day long.
We'll be all day long. We'll have a party around here. So make sure you tune in tomorrow for that. That's exciting. We'll finish up our Blazer
Did I miss
conversation.
something?
You must have. I will tell you when we're done. Finishing this up. Something, Danny, as we were trying to describe Windows, last segment we kind of needed to let some air breathe, because I think, as Russ put it, we were kind of chasing our tails a little bit. The question
Wafting.
The question is Windows, and there's a lot of interaction from you listeners out there. Like this one right here, Danny's spot on. I'm 65, and the hell if I want a 5-year plan, and that's reality. And I feel kind of silly for saying that I was interested in that 5-year plan while using the Toronto Raptors and the Kansas City Royals as an example of doing whatever you need to do to go win a chip. And I think that's, we see it on the YouTube chat as well, that a lot of people are just like, look, if Giannis comes and it gives us a 2-year window and nothing happens, I'll take it. I'd rather have a chance than not at all.
If you're sitting dead red.
Are you saying you'd rather get blown out in the NBA Finals than not be in the NBA Finals, Danny?
No, I'm saying I have a chance within the NBA. 7-game series.
True. It's not a one game.
No.
You can get blown out by 30 in game one and still come back and
also,
win.
college football ain't the NBA.
That's true.
Because
It
the
is
NBA,
pros.
if you have one of them dudes, you have a legitimate chance.
And I think that's probably where a lot of Blazers fans sit.
Look,
is that we're tired of the building. It's been 5 years of no playoffs.
It's not just that. It's when was the last time they had a legitimate title window? They did not have a title window with Dame.
Late 90s.
That's it.
Late
It's
90s.
been 25 years.
And who was the star on that team?
We
it
were
was a little more Detroit Pistons.
We were talking about this in the break. In the last 26 years, there has been one team that has been able to have like this build and then make a couple moves and then have it all come together and be kumbaya the perfect time. It is the Detroit Pistons. That is it.
Let's not forget that season they had the number 2 overall pick, and that player didn't do squadouche for them.
And they could have had
Carmelo Anthony.
Ooh. But remember, they trade for Chauncey. They trade for Rasheed. They made moves.
They drafted Rip. They drafted Tayshaun.
The 99-2000 Blazers were the only other team, if you want to put the Pacers in that this last year, that would have bucked the trend of having a dude.
But to your point about the Pistons, that Blazer team had Scotty, Dame, Sobbs, Rasheed, Brian Grant.
You just had
Steve Smith.
I mean, you had Bonzi was coming off the bench. Like you were just you went 9 deep of no doubt.
And I
dudes.
think sometimes that's what I'm into. And that's the hope that you hate that I keep.
But that's
spewing.
also not homegrown.
I know. Is because I would love to be a Pistons fan and have that starting 5 to be remembered.
Yeah.
And not just Lakers teams that were all Kobe and Shaq, with some good other pieces, and Derek Fisher, Rick Fox, Big Shot Bob, etc. But I always love the concept of a starting 5 that I love, so endearing, as opposed to just a superstar or two.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If you made this deal, let's just keep this one going, the Scoot, Shea, Jeremy version of this deal, you would have Dame, Drew, 2, Denny, Giannis, Donovan as your top 6. Who's not a Trailblazer in that list?
Right.
It's Drew and Giannis. Everybody else is homegrown.
That's a fair point.
And remind me again, Drew and Giannis, they won a title together?
They did. They did. Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
So, yeah.
We'll talk a little more trade scenarios tomorrow on the program. Join us for a big day here at the Fan as well. Closing Arguments brought to you by Leskin Law. Visit LeskinLaw.com for more information. Leskin Law's one-day divorce mediation, peace treaties, not war plans. We could probably use some of that around here today. For Danny Marang, that's Jeff Rust. I'm Patrick Harris. Go do something I would do.
Bye.